Sports on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Blue Jays played a 4-game series against the Tigers. They won the opener and then lost 3 straight. Of course, the highlight of the weekend for the Tiger fans was the no-hitter thrown by Justin Verlander. But overall, the Tigers beat the Blue Jays in every aspect of the game.
Look at the earned run average that the Blue Jays had, up over 6 against a Tiger team that is an okay type of hitting team. They did not hit well with runners in scoring position or pitch the ball. So John Farrell's got his work cut out for him as he faces his former teammates. And Red Sox.
His former club, the Red Sox, starting to swing the bats very well. They've got Jacoby Ellsbury back at the top of the order for Terry Francona's lineup, and that's a good thing. Ellsbury currently riding an 18-game hit streak. He is 29 for 79 during that streak. He's been a great table setter as the Red Sox are trying to get to 500. Dustin Pedroia, Adrian Gonzalez has been a great sign here. He got traded over from San Diego and has signed a multi-year deal. Euclid is in the cleanup spot. Ortiz drew Jed Lowry. Blue Jays saw him swinging a hot bat. He's in the top 10 in the American League in batting average. Carl Crawford had the game-winning hit in last night's game at Fenway Park. He, too, has a 9-game hit streak starting to come around. Jared Saltalamacchia, the Switch-hitting catcher, will bat against Kyle Drabek.
All of that 6th in the American League in hitting as a team average of .253. That's the lineup that Kyle Drabek makes. As he heads to the mound for his 8th start of the season, he's looking to stop a 2-game losing streak. Gave up 3 runs in 5 2/3 innings pitched and walked 4 batters for a 2nd consecutive start. That was that 3-1 loss at Tampa Bay on Thursday. This is the first look that the Red Sox have of Kyle Drabek this season. There are the numbers. The walks obviously have to go down.
Defensively behind Kyle Drabek, John Farrell continues to juggle the defensive alignment. Corey Patterson has started in center field most recently. Rajay Davis is back in center as Patterson moves to left. Bautista in right field. The infield continues to have adjustments. John McDonald is at third base. Edwin Encarnacion goes across the diamond with the injured Adam Lynn still unable to play. J.P. Arancibia will handle Kyle Drabek. Corey Patterson back in left field here this evening.
He is in left field because he has played there more often than Rajay Davis. So some speed in the outfield now with Davis in left, or Davis in center.
First pitch to Ellsbury is down and away. Jacoby Ellsbury, we saw him in April. He was batting down in the order in the 9th spot. Average up to .291.
Right after we saw him, he started that hitting streak. That was back on April the 21st is when he started his hitting streak. He was hitting 9th that day. Next day he went leadoff, and he's raised his average from 182 to 291.
3 straight balls to start the game for Drabek. This is one thing John Farrell has been consistent about. He said his starters have to improve their fastball command.
Well, it's a very difficult lineup that you're facing. They've got a lot of speed. They've got power. Switch hitters, both sides of the plate. And when you do make good pitches, they have that ability just to flick the ball.
95. Drabek back into the at-bat at 3-2. Ellsbury missed most of last season with fractured ribs and collided with Adrian Beltre. Ellsbury was playing in left field last year and ran into the third baseman and missed theoretically the whole season. Sharply hit on the ground, and Ellsbury extends his hit streak in his first at bat. 19 straight for the leadoff hitter.
What a weapon at the top of that lineup. The Scouting Report tonight is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Plenty of fastball from Kyle Drabek. It's explosive at times. It's tough to keep it in the strike zone. Command and control is always going to be the key. Don't overthrow the pitches. 25 walks, 38 innings pitched, and you mentioned it's time to go deeper into the ballgame with Brandon Morrow throwing just 3 1/3 innings last night. They need Kyle Drabek at least 6 here tonight.
Ellsbury with 10 steals at first. Pedroia shows bunt, takes a strike. Dustin Pedroia, a little bit of a skid late. Of late, he is hitting .237. Hit some balls hard in the most recent series at Fenway Park. Didn't get much to show for it. Quick move to first. And kind of showing his playing first base. We mentioned Adam Lind is still unable to play. He's got a back spasm, and according to Lind, it's getting better, but he's still not ready to take the field again. No balls and a strike on a number 2 hitter, Dustin Pedroia. Ellsbury broke, but didn't like his jump.
One thing about Pedroia, there are the numbers that you were just talking about. Just 7 extra base hits this year for Pedroia.
And the former MVP never's going to get too discouraged. He'll keep plugging away, and before the end of the season, his average will be up where it should be. He's a career .305 hitter. There goes Ellsbury, cut on and miss there, and Sebia can't hang on to it. It's a stolen base for Ellsbury, his 11th of the season.
He's only been thrown out 4 times. Terry Francona talks about his team with Ellsbury at the top of the lineup being a different team when he is up there. Obviously swinging the bat very well, but he adds that speed component to this team, and now he is in scoring position for some very dangerous hitters.
Certainly changed the complexion of the Red Sox offense when Ellsbury is healthy. Pedroia hits the ball in the dirt, and Sebia blocked it very effectively. Ellsbury had 50 steals in 2008 and then bumped it up to 70 in 2009. And then he got hurt last year, had 7 in just 18 games. Well, you add that dimension to this lineup, and that's trouble for opposing pitchers.
It's going to be scary when Carl Crawford starts getting on base, wherever they decide to hit him in that lineup, and you added the speed. Ellsbury can pop the ball out of the ballpark also.
2-2. Tries to poke it to the right side. Kyle Drabek would love to be able to get out of the first inning and put up a 0. So much of his game is about rhythm and momentum. You mentioned the walks have been a problem 4 times this year. He's walked 4 in a game. 5 times actually. He's had 5 4-walk games.
Yeah, 7 starts, 5 of them he's had at least 4 walks. But the thing about Drabek is his stuff is so good, and it's really interesting to watch the contrast between a young Drabek and a veteran that we're going to see in the bottom of the inning in John Lester. Lester has the same type of stuff as Drabek, but he's a little bit more refined, and he knows how to get himself out of trouble.
Pedroia takes the walk. First and second, nobody out. And Adrian Gonzalez will step to the plate. J. Pierre and Sebia catching Drabek for a 2nd consecutive start. Early on, Jose Molina was behind the plate with Drabek, and you can see already Drabek talking to himself about that walk he issued to Pedroia.
You know, as long as it's positive. You know, you're out there on that mound and you're struggling, just be positive. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to visualize this ball to Gonzalez and make him get it on the ground. You start fighting with yourself on that mound, and it makes things very difficult.
Long look in for the signs. First and second, nobody out. First pitch strike. You know, that's one thing he's going to have to learn how to do. Just go ahead and throw that first pitch strike. He's got so much movement. He didn't really have to locate it early in the at-bat.
J. Pierre and Sebia was telling me during batting practice today that he wants to just set up right in the middle of the plate. Because his ball moves so much, he doesn't have to try and shoot for the corners.
0-2.
Let the natural movement of his pitches dictate where the ball goes. He can sink the ball to lefties. He's got a very good cutter.
He threw 6 pitches to Ellsbury, and Ellsbury singled on the 6th pitch. He got a good look at Drabek to start the game. Drabek's ahead of Gonzalez, 0-2. Well, that's a good spot. Down and away with 2 strikes. Darting, sinking fastball just off the plate. Tough pitch to lay off.
19 base on balls versus left-handers this year. Trying to pick at that corner.
Pickoff at second base. They got him. Boy, Escobar did a great job. He just bounced in behind Ellsbury, and Drabek picked up on it and threw a strike to second.
Shortstops and pitchers, middle infielders, they will get a sign. Even just eye contact. Watch Escobar just slide in. It's an open glove play and a huge pickoff at second base. Drabek delivers the ball right on schedule.
Cut on and missed. What a turnaround. A pickoff at second and a strikeout of Gonzalez, and Drabek is an out away from getting out of the first.
This is going to be a big pitch, I think, especially to the left-handers. Take a little something off when you got 2 strikes. See if you can expand the strike zone. And he gets a pretty hot hitter there. That timing play at second base was perfect. You can't run it any better than that.
Now, Drabek did a good job of waiting until Escobar cleared himself of Ellsbury and then threw a seed right on top of the bat. Kevin Youkilis, the cleanup batter. Youkilis hitting .250. Youkilis back at third base with the addition of Gonzalez at first. 2-0. There's going to come a time when Kyle Drabek can close his eyes and throw strikes. We saw the advancement with Brandon Morrow over the course of the first half of last season. There goes Pedroia, cut on and missed from his knees, not in time at second. Arancibia's throw was high and a bit late. Pedroia picks up the steal, his 5th of the season.
Might have caught J.P. Arancibia a little bit by surprise. 5 out of 6 times now that Pedroia has stolen a base. Steals him in a good spot. Watch where the pitch is. And he elects to throw from his knees. A little bit late.
Foul ball.
But I agree with you. I can't wait to see Kyle Drabek in July and August. You see the talent, and I know that if he listens to his coaches and try to do what they say, I think we're going to see a much different pitcher.
Here's something to think about. He had Ellsbury 3-0, threw a strike right down the middle. Take that approach on the first pitch. Then you strike 1. Then you can add as you go along. 2-2, 2 outs to Youkilis. Breaking ball blocked by Arancibia. Did a good job of squaring up on that ball.
It's getting better. His first 4 starts, or excuse me, his first 3 starts of the season, 1-0 with an ERA under 2. His last 4, he's really struggled with the strike zone. 3 of those 4 games, he has walked 4 batters, and the innings per start have gone down. Opponent's batting average has gone up.
Full count. Struck him out. That's the kind of stuff Drabek has. He gives up a base hit, a walk, picks off a batter, and then strikes out Gonzalez and Youkilis. 3 and 4 in the Red Sox order. Drabek strikes them both out. Cardinals lineup. They have slipped to 5 games under 500 at 15-20. Escobar had a home run in the game yesterday. Corey Patterson bats second. Jose Bautista continues to lead the American League with a .359 batting average. Encarnacion, Hill, Rivera, middle of the order. J.P. Aaron, Sevilla, John McDonnell, and Rajai Davis back in the lineup, playing center field and batting ninth.
John Lester went 7 innings his last time out versus Los Angeles Angels, and he beat Dan Herron, allowing just a solo home run while striking out a season-high 11 batters. He beat the Blue Jays back on April the 17th, allowing a run in 6 innings. And that was the beginning of this 4-game win streak that Lester's been on. Great numbers all the way around.
Just 15 walks and 46 strikeouts for Lester. First pitch strike. Going to watch the Blue Jays, how they approach him, and we know Lester can command both sides of the plate. You can't really attack him if you're going to try to cover both sides of the plate.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can go up there saying, I'm going to hit everything on the inside part of the plate and the outside part of the plate. His stuff is just too good. I think you have to at least eliminate one of those sides of the plate early in the count.
If you were hitting against him, what side would you choose?
Away. I think he is really good away. And hopefully he just miss on the inside. A lot of hitters, right-handed batters, go the opposite way. They look for the ball inside, thinking that they're going to pull something against him, and that's when Lester can feel him out and say, okay, I'm going to go away.
So you would look for the ball away?
I'd look for the ball away.
1-2, nobody out. Down and in, 2-2. Lester's, like so many of the frontline pitchers in the major leagues, is a big, strong young man. He's 6'4", weighs 225. Full count.
You know what else he does? He just wins. Got one of the best winning percentages at all of baseball.
He has 39 games over 500. A leadoff walk.
Right after the leadoff walk to Escobar, let's take a look at the defense for the Red Sox. A lot of speed in the outfield and good throwing arms. Carl Crawford, Jacoby Ellsbury, J.D. Drew left to right in the outfield. Youthfulest Jed Lowry has taken over at shortstop with Marco Scudero on the disabled list. Pedroia Gonzalez on the right side is very good. And Jared Saltalamacchia will be doing the catching tonight. There's Carl Crawford, one of the best in all of baseball in the outfield.
Escobar takes a lead at first. Patterson into center field. That'll be a base hit. Escobar will stop at second. Corey Patterson jumped on the first pitch off the leadoff walk.
How about Corey Patterson hitting good pitching? We said it earlier this year against Felix Hernandez and some of the other tough pitchers that we have faced, and Patterson does it again.
He's now 6 for 13 against John Lester. Pitch was up out over the plate, middle way, and he drilled it into center. Blue Jays got something going, and now this is the tough spot for Lester. No place to put Bautista. First and second, nobody out. Oftentimes we said time and time again with frontline pitchers, you better get them early before they get zeroed in. Off the plate outside. Bautista has a home run against Lester. Just 6 for 29. That's a .207 average. Boy, you'd love to be able to give Kyle Drabek a little cushion to work with.
He can be a little bit more aggressive then, attack the hitters. Don't have to think so much out there. Just go ahead and just throw strikes.
Breaking ball, 2-0. Saltalamacchia will take a little trip to the mound. And again, this is exactly when you're most likely to get to John Lester before he gets it zeroed in. Blue Jays actually had a pretty good shot at him last time they faced him back in April. He was struggling with his command. They scored the first run of the ball game, actually stole the run with a double steal. But then they gave up a 4 spot in the bottom of that inning. 2-0. Changeup missed downstairs. Lots of respect for Bautista.
It was a cold day back in Boston, that day you're talking about. He just didn't have his good stuff. But since then, he has found the groove that he hasn't lost.
3-0. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Bautista, his 32nd walk of the season. 2 walks in the inning. Still nobody out.
That was one of the problems last year for John Lester, that his walk rate jumped to 3.5 per 9 innings in 2010. But now trying to avoid the base on balls, it's gone down under 3 where it was in 2008 and 2009.
Here's where the Blue Jays need a base hit. Nothing dramatic. Just take advantage of this bases loaded situation. Off speed pitch down and away. John Farrell has talked about his hitters chasing a lot of pitches out of the zone, and it's not unusual. You see your team struggling to score runs. Everybody wants to do a little bit more, and it's counterproductive.
Trying to hit a 6-run homer, it's impossible. They are at their best, Blue Jays, when they just pass the baton. One guy does his thing and just give it to the next guy. Well, Bautista did his thing, getting pitched around to load the bases. Now it's Encarnacion's turn to drive in some runs.
Ball on a strike off the plate. You really got to square up now and make sure that you make Lester throw you a good pitch. Counts in your favor. Encarnacion has the upper hand here for sure if he's patient enough and forces Lester to throw a strike.
What is your strengths? And I think his strengths are he's a low ball hitter.
3-1. Lester didn't agree with that call, but he hasn't thrown many strikes in this inning. You can't really blame Paul Emmel.
Right. 15 pitches, 11 of them out of the strike zone now. Pitch tracks. It is just off the plate.
Had he been around the zone all night long, he gets that. 3-1. Nobody out. Bases loaded. He walked in a run. 3 walks in the inning. Blue Jays are out in front, 1-0. Lester obviously showing his displeasure with the home plate umpire, and Kurt Young, the pitching coach, is out trying to help him regroup a little bit.
Yeah, and Jared Saltalamacchia did a good job of separating his starting pitcher from the umpire. Pedroia, the second baseman, did the same thing, came in and got between the umpire, Paul Emmel, and John Lester. As Kurt Young was coming out, this is what Lester was saying to the home plate umpire. And Pedroia said, look, forget about it.
And Lester said, I'm not talking to you. He was just showing his frustration by the walk. And Pedroia wanted to make sure they didn't lose the left-hander early in the game. And Kurt Young, the pitching coach, as well. Aaron Hill cuts on the first pitch and fouls it back into the glove.
I was talking to Aaron today about John Lester, and I said what makes him so tough is his ability, number one, to throw the balls on both sides of the plate, but then not give in to the hitter. Stay with his strengths.
Ground ball this short. Lowry goes to second for 1, back to first, not in time. Patterson comes in on the fielder's choice. It's 2-0 Blue Jays.
Multiple runs, that's what you need. When you've got a guy down, you've got to go for it. Lowry charges. This play was very slow to develop, as Hill beats it out, and he'll be credited with an RBI.
So Bautista's at third, Hill's at first. Still just one out. Juan Rivera. Big run down at third. Bautista's got a big lead with Euclid back at third. Blue Jays stole a run against Lester in the second inning the last time they faced him in Boston. It was with 2 outs. Hill was at third base. Rivera was at first base. Rivera broke for second base, got in the rundown, and Hill came in to score.
And that was it against Lester.
Popped up. Hill was on the move. Down the right field line. Gonzalez hit fair ground off his glove. Bautista's coming home. They will get Hill at second base, but the Blue Jays pick up another run. It's a 3-run first inning against John Lester.
Take them any way you can get them. One of the best fielding first basemen in all of baseball. Gonzalez hasn't committed an error. Pop-up that pops out of his glove. Goes back, and the ball floats on him a little bit, hits him right off the end of the glove. And he'll pick the ball up and get it out at second base. But a run will score.
That didn't look like that tough a play, but Gonzalez had it drift on him, and Rivera picks up an RBI on the fielder's choice. J.P. Arancibia. 7th man to bat here in the first. And we mentioned good pitchers. If they give you a chance in the first inning, you better take advantage of it. And Blue Jays have.
3 walks. So far, 2 of them have come around to score.
Outside corner for a strike.
Staying aggressive also against Lester. You mentioned that Aaron Hill was on the move. Stay out of the double play.
Inside. Arancibia fights it off. It's 0-2. Blue Jays have just 1 hit in this inning. Lester walked 3. Walked in a run. Fielder's choice. Hill picks up an RBI. Rivera with the fielder's choice. He picks up an RBI. John Farrell doesn't care how they come in as long as they continue to come in. The Jays were outscored 28-14 in the 4 games against the Tigers, losing 3 of the 4. If you can figure out baseball, you let me know.
Yeah. Been trying to do it for 35 years.
Curveball, strike 3.
It looked like he pulled the trigger.
I thought he did.
Yeah. It looked like Paul Emmel backed up and pulled the trigger. John Lester looking around, the same thing, had the same reaction.
I watched him. I thought he pumped his right fist back.
And nobody moved.
1-2. 2 outs, first inning. Two and 2.
24 pitches now for Lester here in the first inning. This is not the same pitcher we saw his last time out against the Angels, where he worked 7 innings, had 11 punch-outs.
There goes Rivera. Cut on and missed. Arancibia strikes out, but the Blue Jays put up a 3-spot in the first. John Lester gives up just 1 hit, but the Blue Jays make the most of it. 3-0 Toronto. They got just one hit, but Lester walked 3, including a bases loaded walk, and John Lester was frustrated as he left the field.
Had some words with the home plate umpire, then let it all out right there. I'm sure he went back into the back there down the tunnel and had it out with some of the items down there under the stands.
Well, Kyle Drabek's got some breathing room here. He leads 3-0. David Ortiz will start things off. There you see the Ortiz shift. Very dramatic. 3 infielders on the right side, and Aaron Hill is in shallow right field.
Just daring him to bunt the ball. Saw Carlos Pena the other day for the Chicago Cubs. Same type of alignment. He was really struggling. He laid down a bunt for an infield single. I'm sure the Blue Jays would love for David Ortiz to try and lay a bunt down.
3-0. Drabek had a walk in the first inning, but then was able to get around it. He picked off Ellsbury and struck out 2. Now there's that 3-1 strike. Looks like he can throw that at will once he gets to 3-0.
Well, he went right after Youkilis to end the inning, which is a good sign. Stuff is that good.
3-2. Boy, the ball comes out of his hand easy. Not a lot of effort. That's what's most difficult for hitters when he does throw balls in the strike zone. It doesn't look like it's going to be as hard as it is. It kind of jumps at you.
Right at the last minute. There's that extra pop.
No shift to stop that. It goes all the way to the wall past Bautista. Ortiz is headed for second. And he'll get there standing up. He hit it right through the shift. Had the counter full and got a fastball.
That's dropping the head on the ball. Watch how quickly his bat goes down and just hits a line drive. It stays on that hitting plane a long time and splits the outfield. I thought Bautista had a shot to get him at second base, but Ortiz cruises in with a leadoff double.
J.D. Drew now after the Ortiz double. Just off the plate at 94. J.P. Aronsiva, you talked about him trying to sit in the middle of the plate and see if he can't keep Drabek in the strike zone. But that ball runs so dramatically, you just have to continue to move around as a catcher.
A pitcher that has that kind of movement.
Base hit to left field. Ortiz had to make sure it got through safely. Now he moves over to third.
You start aiming for the corners and it's going to come right off the plate. Nothing wrong with that last pitch that J.D. Drew was just up. A little bit easier to reach. If that ball is down and away, it's a grounder. But it's up and he just flicks at it. And gets it past McDonald in the left field for a single.
Red Sox runners at the corners. Nobody out. Jed Lowry, the switch hitter, will bat left-handed against Drabek. Again, that same pattern. That first pitch fastball just runs well out of the strike zone. Lowry wore out the Blue Jays the last time these two clubs met at Fenway Park. They had a breakout season during that series. Terry Francona anointed him the regular shortstop.
When we went into Boston, it was Marco Scutaro who was the everyday shortstop. But this guy came off the bench and got a pinch hit in the first game and then just kept hitting. 9 for 15, a couple of home runs, 8 RBIs in that series.
Two and one. Scutaro has since been placed on the disabled list. He has a left oblique strain. Blue Jays lead 3-0. Red Sox threatening here in the second. 3 balls and a strike.
It's interesting. Lefties are the ones that give Kyle Drabek a lot of problem. I'm not talking about batting average. It's pretty close to the right-handers. It's the base on balls. 19 of his 25 base on balls this year coming into this game was against left-handed batters. It's almost like he spins off trying to hit that outside part of the plate. And John Farrell was telling us before the game when we were talking about John Lester, one of the things that he did when he was the pitching coach is he got his foot direction going towards home plate. And once he got that, that's when he was able to command the outside part of the plate. I see the same things with Kyle Drabek.
3-2. Arancibia holds on to the foul tip. 3rd strikeout. Lowry goes down swinging.
Watch his front foot, where it lands and where it's pointing when he lets go of that pitch. Everything was going towards home plate, and he stayed right on track. Again, watch the front side. Front foot goes down, and it's pointing right at home plate. Perfect. Stayed right on his lanes.
Great alignment right there, and because of that, he was able to strike out Lowry. Now Carl Crawford. Crawford with great speed, difficult to double up. Crawford has a 9-game hit streak. Oftentimes you hear pitchers talk about repeating their delivery, and that's a big challenge for Kyle Drabek. Makes a good pitch to strike out Jed Lowry and then misses badly on the next one.
It's like a hitter who hits the ball and goes, how'd I do that?
He just has to remember the effort level, the tension level, just how much pressure he puts on his hand. Another snap throw to first.
More so with hard throwers
Yep.
than soft tossers. They have to have command and control of their body. That last pitch to Lowry was on a great downward plane, and I think it's because he had all his momentum going towards home plate.
Crawford fouls it off. At some point, Arancibia is going to have to use the changeup a little more and get a breaking ball in. I don't care how much movement you have. If the Red Sox hitters eliminate the secondary pitches, they'll catch up to that fastball.
Yeah, they'll figure it out, you know, in a while.
Bounced up the first base side.
But there are so many weapons that he brings to the table. And you were talking to John Farrell about fastball command. That's number one. I think all young pitchers have to be able to command the fastball before they pitch in the big leagues.
And we're not talking about commanding it on the corner, just different areas of the strike zone so you can go up, down, in, and out. 2-2, 1 out. And Crawford hits it into right field. That's a base hit. Ortiz will come in. First run for the Red Sox. It's a 3-1 game. Crawford extends his hit streak to 10 games.
Starting to hit the ball like the Carl Crawford we knew when he was with Tampa Bay. It's warming up a little bit, and his bat is starting to warm up. Drabek wanted this one. There's a reaction after the base hit into right field from Kyle Drabek. Curveball, too much of the plate.
Well, veteran hitters with 2 strikes can hit breaking balls that are in the strike zone. They shorten up. They're trying to protect the plate, and Crawford did just that. Picks up the RBI. Number 9 hitter is Jared Saltalamacchia. Late on a fastball. Saltalamacchia is a switch hitter. Off to a bit of a slow start. Drabek's ahead 0-2. Red Sox have scored a run here in the second. Again, that effort took Drabek over toward the first base foul line. Kind of fell off toward that foul line. Pitch count up to 45 here in the second inning. Got it. Strikes out Saltalamacchia. That's the fourth strikeout of the game for Drabek.
To pitch in the American League East, you have to be pretty special. The lineups are so tough up and down this division. And Kyle Drabek is learning. Looked like a changeup from Drabek. And he got Saltalamacchia out in front. 2 starts ago against the Yankees, it was the same kind of thing for Drabek. Very patient hitters, veteran hitters. And he had his shortest outing of the season.
2 outs, back to the top of the order. First pitch strike to Ellsbury. Red Sox center fielder singled his first time up. That extended his hit streak to 19 games. Hitting .296. That's why it's so difficult to evaluate a pitcher in the minor leagues, because you don't have experienced hitters that will lay off the borderline pitches. Drabek can rear back and pump that high fastball, and they'll chase.
And they'll chase. They're swinging that. You might have 2 really good hitters.
Driven into center field. Davis on the run and makes the catch. Boy, Davis got a good read off the bat. Brings it in just on the warning track in deep center field. Red Sox score a run. It's 3-1. John Lester back for the second. Of the game. Due to fan support for the Beast Mode hashtag, the Blue Jays are encouraging fans to help Beast Mode trend across Canada during the game. Help the Blue Jays by attaching Beast Mode at the end of every tweet. See how many followers we can get during the course of this game. Twitter.com/Blue Jays. John Lester drops a first pitch curveball in there for a strike. John McDonald in the 8th spot tonight. Ball on the strike. John Lester has allowed just 1 hit, but he's been tagged for 3 runs. Pulled wide of third into foul territory. Lester wants that ball back. Something you don't see much of anymore. Pitcher asking for that ball after it was hit foul, and Lester's got that movement on it, and sometimes you get a little scuffed because of that foul grounder, and that'll be advantageous to a pitcher.
You feel a little bit better. The ball feels a little bit better in his hand. Wanted that one back.
Third ball missed low.
Every ball that hits the dirt gets thrown out. But if that's true, every ground ball to third base should get thrown out too.
Same thing,
isn't it?
2-2 to the leadoff batter here in the second. Count. John Lester still not in sync.
No.
He had 3 walks in the first inning.
Hasn't been able to throw any of his pitches consistently in the strike zone. It took him 25 pitches to get through that first inning.
Drilled to left center. That ball is hit a ton. Carl Crawford's got great speed, and he runs it down in front of the scoreboard. Boy, Crawford got a great jump, and his great speed takes a hit away from McDonald.
Best left fielder in the American League, in my mind. Scatter report for John Lester. Boston Red Sox big starter. Sturdy starter. He's thrown at least 32 starts up the last 3 seasons. You can count on him. He's very durable, throws a lot of innings. He's the Blue Jay nemesis. 8 career wins. He's won 5 of his last 6, and he's on one of those hot streaks. He has won his last 4, 6 innings pitched in each one of those, and an ERA of 1.3. The biggest thing for John Lester is the calendar has turned to May, because he has had his troubles in his career in the month of April.
You know, when you think about pitching in Boston in April, cold, damp weather, wind always a factor. You have to deal with that even as a pitcher. But boy, when it heats up, it's a good place for John Lester. Lined into right field. J.D. Drew has a bead on it, makes a shoulder high catch. Two outs here in the second. Back to the top of the order. Yunel Escobar with the leadoff walk came around to score the first Blue Jay run. That big curveball was all the way across the plate, but a bit below.
Again, when he first came up, it was everything hard to the right-handers. Cutter in, breaking ball in, hard fastball in. Look at the depth and the movement on that breaking ball. Now he can pound it outside, have shorter innings, and get more ground ball outs.
Lester first came to the Red Sox in 2006. And flare down the right field line. It's slicing into foul territory. John Lester won 7 games in 2006 in his 15 starts. And the impressive aspect of Lester's pitching for me, each year his opponent's batting average has gone down. So he's worked to improve, as you've mentioned. He's multidimensional now. He can throw pitches to both sides of the plate, and it's gone down every single year.
They hit off of him last year.
220. He went too far. Lester has a good inning. The strikeout of Escobar caps off a 1-2-3 second. We played 2 here at Rogers Center. 3-1 Blue Jays lead it. this is the top 5 ball clubs in the American League for Twitter following. And follow the Blue Jays on Twitter at twitter.com/Blue Jays. Or submit your questions on Twitter to @Blue Jays, and we can choose yours as a Twitter question of the game. Blue Jays currently have 37,000 followers, and I'd like to thank you, Blue Jay fans, for all your support. See if you can't run down the Rangers. They're just 1,000 ahead of us.
No surprise with the Yankees #1 out in front.
Well out in front with a big audience for sure.
Catching the Rangers, though, we can do that.
Just 1,000 behind. Dustin Pedroia pops it back out of play into the upper deck. Blue Jays lead 3-1. They still have managed just 1 hit against John Lester, but capitalize on his wildness in the first. Three and one. Red Sox are getting an awful lot of hitter counts against Kyle Drabek.
Well, they came into this game #1 in the American League in base on balls with 134, and that's not by accident. That is their idea. Go up to the plate, get a lot of information, make that starter throw a lot of pitches. You do that, and they're not around very long.
Elevates the pitch count. Plus, it also gives the hitter an awful lot of information. You can see the velocity, you can pick up on the movement. Dave Madigan, the hitting coach, talking with David Ortiz about Drabek. It's the first time the Red Sox have seen Kyle Drabek. Hit into right field. Bautista comes in and makes a chest-high catch. 1 out here in the 3rd. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell for an update.
First baseman, number 28, Adrian Gonzalez.
One out here in the 3rd. Kansas City and the Yankees, of course, a great rivalry. Back in the 70s into the early 80s. Kansas City trying to reignite that great matchup. 2-0.
Besides Cleveland, Kansas City, a big surprise. Maybe Seattle so far in the American League.
I think Seattle's a surprise to me. There's 3 games under 500, but I didn't think they were going to be close after we saw them on the West Coast. Gonzalez swings and misses. Adrian Gonzalez struck out his first time up. Drabek threw him a very good changeup for the strikeout. See Drabek's frustration as he pounds his glove, trying to be as calm and cool as he can. Just trying to throw a good quality strike.
Got some fire when he takes the mound.
I mean, there's a good example of how good his stuff is. Gonzalez knows he's going to get a fastball. And he gets a good pitch to hit, just can't get out in front of it.
You can't. And that's why I think once he learns how to harness that, it's almost like a race car right now. The engine is really revving really hard and fast, and you don't have to throw it hard to get outs. You don't have to go 95 miles an hour to win the race.
Another good changeup. Look at the late dramatic movement.
Down and away, and a good spot, good arm speed on that pitch.
That's a perfect compliment after Gonzalez was late and hit a ball down the left field line into the seats. Drabek throws a changeup for a strikeout. You know, Bruce Walton is sitting on the bench going, he has no idea how good he is. Big bounce to third. McDonald unloads in a hurry in time. A good inning for Kyle Drabek. A 1-2-3 third inning. We played 2.5 at Rogers Center. Blue Jays are up by 2. Your view of the game from home, and one lucky winner could receive a Blue Jays prize package. It's Twitter Tuesday. Get on board. Send us a good picture, and we will pick a winner. Bottom of the third inning, Corey Patterson. He has the only hit of the night off of John Lester. It's a fastball on the corner. Corey Patterson 6 for 13 now against the Red Sox left-hander. Make it 7 for 14, even 500 for Patterson.
Raises that average 83 points in his first 2 at bats. He must zero in against those good pitchers. Took Felix Hernandez deep back in Seattle last month, and now against one of the best left-handers in the American League. He's 2 for 2. Gets it right past Lester into the center field.
I asked Patterson about that specifically, and he said, I don't know what it is, but you know these guys are good pitchers. I guess my focus is much keener against the top echelon of starting pitchers. Now Patterson is a threat to run. He has 4 steals. Bautista walked his first time up. He's now reached in 28 of 29 games this year.
His on-base percentage is silly. Just silly numbers for Jose Bautista. It just shows you how he can zero in every single at-bat.
On-base percentage .524 before that walk. Takes a strike. Bautista is nearly 100 points ahead of number 2 Miguel Cabrera in on-base percentage. And you talk about passing the torch, Bautista does that as well as anybody.
You know what makes him so different? And you could throw Miguel Cabrera in there also. Albert Pujols the same thing. Is they're great sluggers with big on-base percentage. You'll usually see those punch and Judy type of hitters, the guys who get a lot of walks. But these are great sluggers that if you make a mistake, it ends up in the seats.
Well, it's evident when you look at Bautista's slugging percentage, .772. Goes after that high pitch. He strikes out. Lester just reached back for a little extra zip on the fastball. His 3rd strikeout of the night.
Pound you in, pound you away, pound you up. That bat is so quick. Watch him uncoil and boom. Can't lay off that high fastball.
One out. Cleanup batter Edwin Encarnacion picked up an RBI with a bases loaded walk in the first. Encarnacion looking for his first home run of the season. And that was a pretty good pitch. That was a slide step changeup. Generally, when a pitcher utilizes a slide step, he's going to go fastball because you're trying to guard against the stolen base.
Yeah, shut down the running game, and that was a changeup. Good discipline at the plate for Encarnacion to lay off of it. That had double play written all over it.
Drill down the left field line. That's a fair ball and will bounce out of play for a ground rule double. 12th double of the season for Encarnacion. He has been among the leaders in doubles all year long.
You know, you said he didn't have any home runs, but he's got a boatload of extra base hits. Double number 12 drops the head on that inside cutter. The head of the bat just comes whistling through the strike zone, and the Red Sox catch a break. Patterson might have been able to score if that ball stayed in play, but it hops up into the stands, and Patterson is sent back to third.
Another opportunity to add to their lead here. Patterson at third, Encarnacion at second, just one out. Slow bending breaking ball for a strike. Hill had an RBI on a fielder's choice. He had a pop up down the right field line. Adrian Gonzalez had to go off his glove, but he was able to get the runner at second base.
In John Lester's last start against the Los Angeles Angels, when he was hooked up against Dan Haren, pitched one of his best games of the season, and in runners in scoring position that day, he held the Angels to 0 for 7 to go along with those 11 strikeouts. Toughened up when he needed to.
0-2. Popped him up. Lowry, the shortstop, into the outfield, and Patterson will have to hold his ground. 2 outs.
Jays on Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Roof is closed at Rogers Center. It had been open 3 times in the Tigers series. John Lester trying to pitch out of a jam, just like Pat said. Boy, he has the experience. He has the pitches to knuckle down with runners in scoring position. Rivera would love to spoil his inning right here.
How about runners in scoring position and 2 outs for this season? 0-67 against Lester. Shows you how tough he is when things look their bleakest.
Now, that's experience. He knows that it's not the end of the world. He's been through personal hardship with his battle against cancer, and so he's out here pitching in a ball game. It's not a big deal. Just make good pitches and get yourself out of it.
You know what the good ones have? The ability to get themselves out of trouble like that is the ability to back off the gas pedal a little bit. Try easy. You've heard that many times in baseball. The ones that have trouble are the ones who try too hard. They try to make the ball do something that they're physically impossible to do.
And it's just a matter of the experience that Lester has gained over the years, understanding that he can control the at-bat here. 0-2, 2 outs, 2-1. Up and away. Now, when you compare the two, Kyle Drabek is making his 11th career big league start. John Lester, this is 131.
He has seen this situation before, and he knows his strengths. He knows when to back off.
He also has a clinching game in the World Series. 1-2, 2 outs. Juan Rivera trying to deliver with runners at second and third. John Lester won Game 4 of the 2007 World Series against the Colorado Rockies. Give you an idea just how much confidence Terry Francona had in a young pitcher.
That was his second year in the big leagues, wasn't it?
Yep. Good job by Saltalamacchia squaring up on that ball in the dirt. It's a full count. Not
like tomorrow's starter John Lackey, who pitched a 7th game when he was a young pitcher.
Lackey was a rookie for the Angels in 2002. Won that game. Three-two, 2 outs. Blue Jays up by 2. John Lester dealing with runners at second and third. Another walk that'll load the bases. 4th walk issued by John Lester. When we come back after this break, we will have John Farrell. We'll visit with him and pick his brain about the early stages of this ball game. He hasn't been able to sit down very frequently over the last several days.
Injuries and lineup shuffling going on. He's hasn't been able to sit down. Or
J.P. Arancibia. This is where the Blue Jays really need to hit strikes. Arancibia anxious to really do something dramatic here, but at the same time, you've got to force Lester into throwing a strike.
A single to center field is dramatic. Bases loaded and 2 outs. You got one of the best pitchers in baseball on the mound.
Change up, down and away. I think that's the one thing that Dwayne Murphy has been a bit concerned with, is the hitters trying to do too much and swinging a lot of pitches out of the zone. Two and 1. Hit sharply but foul as Arancibia went after that pitch inside. 2 and 2. Blue Jays got 3 runs in the first. The Red Sox scored their run in the top of the second. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the third. Arancibia struck out on a high fastball his first time up. Hit hard, but right to the first baseman, Gonzalez, and he'll go to the bag to leave the bases loaded. So the Blue Jays get a couple of hits. They also had a walk, but John Lester strands them full. We are joined by the manager, John Farrell. John, give us your take on Kyle Drabek. Again, it seems like the concern is fastball command, something we talked about earlier.
Yeah, he's missed just off the strike zone with his fastball, either to the arm side or down a little bit, but he's made some key pitches deep into some counts to get some strikeouts, and the stuff is well above average across the board. It's just getting on the plate a little bit more consistently.
John, you've had a young John Lester, now a young Kyle Drabek. Do you see similarities between these two guys?
You know, Tabby, I see the similarities with Buchholz as much as I do with Lester. You know, right-hander with power stuff, and it's just a matter of trusting their abilities. Pitching to contact a little bit more earlier in the count.
John, thanks for your time.
Okay, guys.
John Farrell had a couple of good young ones, and they have developed into a couple of the premier pitchers in the American League, Clay Buchholz and John Lester. And Buchholz was intriguing as well with his wide assortment of pitches.
That was a good call. That Buchholz is a lot like Drabek, I guess, from the right side. They've got so many pitches. And it wasn't until Buchholz could harness everything that he really took his game to the next level.
Well, all of the Red Sox came out of the clubhouse today, and they made their way over to say hello to John Farrell and wish him the best. Deep to center field. Patterson turns his backs to the infield. That ball is gone. Home run, David Ortiz to dead straightaway center field. Home run number 5 for the Red Sox DH.
David Ortiz was all over a fastball his first time up when he had a double into right center field. And this time against Kyle Drabek, it's all over the fastball again. They want it in, but it catches a little bit too much at the plate. Rajai Davis goes deep, but that's off the facing of the second deck.
J.D. Drew now in a one-run ball game. So they fastball down. John Farrell talked about the quality of Drabek stuff. There's no concern there whatsoever. And you can see the late movement. The ball starts over the middle of the plate and breaks all the way to the outside corner.
You know what you hope for with young pitchers? When they are facing lineups like this and there's a home run, that they don't get shell-shocked. And they still attack, still trust their stuff, and get after that strike zone.
And you can see hollering at himself again after he threw that pitch. Well, let me tell you something. It's very difficult for a young pitcher to come to the big leagues when he has had nothing but success his entire career and then get hit around. When you look at Drabek's minor league numbers, he was 33-19. And of course, as a high school pitcher, nobody touched him.
Yeah.
3-2. Popped up. Should be playable. McDonald over near the wall. Overruns it and then reaches back and makes an outstanding catch. He had such a long run to get to the warning track in front of the seats that he overran it and then reached back and stabbed it for the out.
Really cheating to the middle of the diamond against J.D. Drew, the left-handed batter. So he had a long way to go. You see him come into your picture. Look how far he's got to come. He's got to find the stands and then puts on the brakes and then snatches that one right out of the line, right out of the air.
Got over there and then realized he'd gone too far, but stayed with it. 1 out. Well, John McDonald's played an awful lot of games here early on with all the injuries.
He has made a start at shortstop, some at second base, third base tonight.
This is his 26th game. Blue Jays have played only 36. Keeps himself ready every single day.
Was out here early today taking throws at third base from the left fielder. They're working on their throws to third base, and John McDonald wanting to get some extra work.
Knew he was going to play third base, so he wanted to get the look at what that throw was going to look like. Should he get one here during the game? Change up. Drabek's going to love that pitch when he realizes that the timing is so challenge for hitters when he can get that near the zone. He has gotten Adrian Gonzalez twice to strike out on that changeup.
Got to gear up for 96.
Sharply hit. Escobar plays it on a big hop. Lowry's retired. 2 down.
You're right. You know, you gear up for 96 and they throw you what Pat Hinkin calls the dead fish. That'll mess up your timing a little bit.
Carl Crawford extended his hit streak to 10 games with a single to right. Picked up an RBI. That's a pretty good pitch there. And Drabek was surprised it wasn't called a strike. Crawford got off to a terrible start his first month with the Red Sox, and I talked to Dustin Pedroia about that, and he said, listen, Crawford's never played in cold weather before. We came through the Red Sox system. We played in Maine, we played in Rhode Island, and we played in Massachusetts. And you play April and early May in those towns. AA was Portland, Maine. AAA was Pawtucket, Rhode Island. We were used to cold weather. Carl Crawford, he hadn't played in that weather.
He came up through the Tampa system. Their AAA was in Durham, North Carolina. That doesn't get that cold early in the season.
Never dealt with weather problems in St. Petersburg, obviously, with the dome. Bouncing ball, and Encarnacion can't make the play on the short hop. Once you bobble it with Crawford's speed, you don't have much of a shot.
You got one shot. The way that he can run those bases, Carl Crawford, if you don't come up with it, you're not going to get another chance. Tried to go backhand. And Encarnacion is going to be charged with his 8th error of the season.
That is truly a do-or-die play at first base, knowing how well Crawford runs. And now they're going to have to keep their eye on Crawford. He's got 5 steals in 7 attempts. Jared Saltalamacchia, the catcher. Quick throw to first. Crawford's back easily.
Crawford's high watermark for stolen bases came a couple of years ago when he was with Tampa, and he swiped 60 bases. Over 400 in his career.
2-0. Drabek continues to throw a lot of pitches. In the American League, pitches per inning, Chris Tillman, the young right-hander from Baltimore, leads the pack. He and Kyle Davies of Kansas City have averaged 18.7 pitches per inning. And Drabek is third at 18.3. And is nothing other than just learning how to command his pitches. Certainly not intimidated by big league hitters.
No.
That's not the problem. It's just a mechanical issue, and it will resolve itself with more starts and more innings.
They also have a stat going around. Pitches taken, the highest percentage of pitches taken so far in 2011. As you see the numbers right there for Kyle Drabek. Opposing hitters are taking over 60% of his pitches.
And tonight he's averaging 21 pitches per inning. That 3-0 strike is an easy pitch for him. 2 outs now. Crawford got to believe he's thinking about breaking for second here. There he goes. Ball 4. A 2-out walk. That'll turn the lineup over. Back to the top of the order for Jacoby Ellsbury. So Ellsbury 1 for 2. Average up to 294. You're wondering, well, why doesn't Bruce Walton come out and talk to Drabek. They've had all of these talks. At some point, Drabek's going to have to figure it out and get through this himself. He knows what he's got to do, and it's just a matter of controlling his emotions, controlling his effort, and then he will control his fastball. Broken bat into left field. Patterson got a good jump. Here comes Crawford. He can fly. The throw is on time. Crawford is out at the plate. What a good play by Patterson with the throw. J.P. Arencibia positioned himself perfectly. And they gunned down one of the fastest base runners in the American League. Patterson comes up, throws a one-hop strike. Arencibia takes it and dives across the plate to tag Crawford out. Blue Jays still lead by 1.
Of the season. He was on the ropes. Drabek, the ball was hit very hard. And you've got to send a runner like Crawford. Does everything right, but the throw beats him, and Arencibia just dives in front of the plate to keep him off there. Good job, Corey. Pick up that first outfield assist in a big spot.
Keeps it a one-run game. A little flare into center field. Ellsbury's got some speed, and he runs it down. John McDonald going after the first pitch. David Ortiz with a solo shot to center field. Top of the inning. His 5th home run has made it a one-run game. Rajay Davis line to right.
Blue Jays offense could really use an infusion of some speed and get Davis's bat going. Started the year as the leadoff batter. Had a very good spring training. Just has had a tough time getting it on track. Very susceptible to breaking balls out of the strike zone.
Just has to identify them early and lay off until you get to 2 strikes.
Get him hitting in the top of the lineup and getting him on base more consistently. The offense changes. The dynamics of the offense changes so differently.
And that's been a problem for John Farrell of late. We mentioned how the Tigers outscored them. There's a bouncing ball that'll bounce foul to Euclid. Tigers outscored the Blue Jays 28-14 in the 4 games. And they had some big bats out, obviously. Bautista just back after missing 5 games. Now Lind is on. And you can say, well, what's the big deal about Lind missing against John Lester? Well, he's hit .342 against left-handed pitching this year.
Just the threat of having an RBI guy behind Jose Bautista.
Blue Jays are 5-3 against left-handed starters this year. It's hit to the gap in left field. Crawford with good speed. Can't make the play. It's over his glove. Goes to the wall. Davis is around third and slides in with a triple. There's that spark you need from Rajai Davis.
The offense changes when he is swinging the bat just because of his speed. Looked like a hanging breaking ball that hung up there, and it looked like Crawford was going to be able to run it down, but it's just over his glove, and then the race was on. As soon as that ball got over his glove, it's going to be okay. Is Davis going to make it to third? And with that speed, it's like he turned it on to a different gear right there. And he had third base on his mind, and he makes it easily.
Second triple of the season for Davis. Now the infield will come in with Escobar batting. One out. Misplay. Davis broke like the safety squeeze was on. He slides back into third, and he's tagged out. Blue Jays missed his sign. Davis broke for home as he expected a safety squeeze, and Escobar didn't bunt.
It almost looked like the suicide squeeze was on as he took off on the pitch. And by then, he has just hung out to dry. That's the suicide squeeze, when you take off when that pitcher's front leg is ready to go down. And he almost gets under the tag. Now, we don't know if Davis missed it or Escobar. But another opportunity for the Blue Jays with a runner at third base. And less than 2 outs goes away.
Well, most of the time with a runner at third, the third base coach will give you an oral signal. Tell you, squeeze is on. Somehow he will get that across to the guy at third.
There might be a hot word that the third base coach will tell you. Anytime I say this word, that means it's on. But a missed sign could cost them another run. They left a couple of runs last inning on the base.
3-1.
Second and third, just 1 out. Lester tightened up and didn't give up a run last inning.
Bouncing ball to second. Big hop. Pedroia tried to flag it down. Can't make the play. And should be an infield hit as Bedoya made a do-or-die swipe at that big bouncing ball.
If he lays back on this ball, Escobar's going to beat it. So he has to come in and try and get it on the short hop, almost an in-between hop. But he swipes at it, knocks it straight up in the air.
It is a hit for Escobar, and he's now 1 for 2 with a walk.
Very sure-handed second baseman. Just can't come up with that one.
2 outs. Corey Patterson's 2 for 2 against Lester. That's on the first pitch.
You were talking about the record that the Blue Jays have had against left-handed starters this year. How about as a team, they're hitting .288 with a .350 on base percentage. So they have had their chances tonight against Lester.
Bounced foul. When you think about some of the left-handers they have faced, of course, David Price. They haven't seen CC Sabathia yet. They faced Price twice, and they're getting their second look at John Lester, and they've held their own. Phil Coke started the opener for the Tigers, and they got to him. Upstairs, it's a ball and 2 strikes to Corey Patterson. 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th inning. Blue Jays lead it 3-2. Patterson stays alive. Look at where John Lester ranks among the left-handers from 2008 to this season. He's first with 54 wins, first in win percentage, second in innings and strikeouts per 9 innings. He's first.
We're talking about some good lefties. The Cliff Lees, C.C. Sabathia, Price.
John Banks is in that group. There's just an awful lot of good left-handers, and it seems like the American League East has their fair share, including Ricky Romero, who's got a chance to develop into one of the premier left-handers. Cut on and missed. Patterson strikes out. Blue Jays get a couple of hits, but they can't convert. They lose a base runner. Now it's time for a connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Transitions adaptive lenses, and we're going to take a close look at Kyle Drabek, who comes from Texas.
Another one of those long line of hard-throwing young Texas right-handers. He was the Philadelphia Phillies' #1 pick back in 2006, 18 overall. It didn't take him very long to get to the big leagues. Just 23 years old.
Started out in the Gulf Coast League with the Phillies in 2007, moved to Lakewood in the South Atlantic League. They brought him along very slowly. And certainly he was the cornerstone of the trade with the Phillies. That's what they wanted. They wanted him for sure. And they got Travis d'Arnaud, and Anthony Gose would come in another deal, but he too was part of what Alex Anthopoulos had on his mind.
That trade wasn't happening unless Kyle Drabek was in it.
Yeah, and Alex Anthopoulos had a lot of discussion around baseball with other GMs, and at that time some of the older GMs told him, listen, if you get the guy you want, don't hold out and risk the chance of losing the deal. You know, you can play hardball as long as you want, but boy, you get to a point where you might be forcing your hand.
Knowing that they had to trade him. All the teams knew that Halladay had to be traded. What they got for him, though, was pretty impressive. If those players get up here, which I think they will.
Mr. Pedroia fouls it off. I agree with you 100%.
If they produce and they get up there, I mean, Anthony Gose eventually was the player. I think he's going to be a great player if he continually gets better. d'Arnaud, you just hear great things about him being a young catcher, and we've already seen what Drabek can do.
2-2. Pedroia takes it in the dirt. Everybody in baseball, like you say, knew that the Blue Jays had to deal Halladay. And there were just a few teams that were able to put together a package, and ones that Halladay would agree to. And Philadelphia was one, so you've really got to commend Alex Anthopoulos for what he got in return.
And if it turns out like they are hoping it turns out, think about the players they got right down the middle of the diamond. A catcher, a pitcher, and a center fielder. That's where the game's played.
And they're all athletes. Drabek is 6'1", weighs about 220. Very athletic. Dorneau, a very active catcher, and a guy that's got some extra base pop in his bat. And we have seen Anthony Ghost in spring training. He stole his 13th and 14th base of the season last night. Leadoff man's aboard with the walk, and Adrian Gonzalez has struck out twice here tonight. Take a look at the break here as Rajai Davis broke as if it were a suicide squeeze, and Escobar didn't offer it the ball.
And then in between the innings, on their way to their respective positions, Rajai Davis stopped and talked with Escobar, going over who missed what. So another golden opportunity for the Blue Jays goes to waste.
Drilled to left field. Gonzalez got a lot of it. Gonzalez has hit it out of the park. 2-run home run. Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez has tremendous opposite field power, and that's why the Red Sox are so anxious to get him to play in their home ballpark at Fenway.
And that's why he's going to put up huge numbers. It's not line drive power the other way like a Ryan Howard. It's lofting, long fly ball power. He gets back, stays behind the ball, and this ball is very high, and it just keeps going. No ballpark is going to hold that one.
Boy, that's big power to the opposite field.
This offense for the Red Sox is just starting to round into form, I think. 9th in the American League in runs scored. 9th in home run and slugging percentage. And it's just going to get better and better.
Well, you got Ellsbury back after he missed most of last season. Euclid was out for a large portion at the end of the season. Pedroia missed the second half of the season with a broken foot. And you get Carl Crawford as a free agent and trade for Adrian Gonzalez. That's a pretty good offensive boost.
A little bit more speed, a little bit more athleticism from their team last year.
Center field, but Davis is there and makes the catch. Euclid is retired. Red Sox got off to a terrible start. On the 15th of April, they were just 2-10. But you can see how dramatically they've turned things around. And you don't have to look any farther than that 2.93 ERA since April 15th.
It's all about bats. And now the bats seem to be coming around. They have been held with 3 or fewer runs 11 times out of the first 33 games.
David Ortiz 2 for 2. He had a solo home run in the 4th to straightaway center. Three for 3. A ground ball base hit up the middle. Top of the 5th inning. 8 hits now for the Red Sox, and Jason Frazier begins to loosen up in the Blue Jays pen.
Drabek's pitch count up over 100 now in the 5th inning.
J.D. Drew singled in his first at bat. That's that first pitch changeup, a very effective pitch. That changeup's been good for him all night long. He just hasn't been ahead in counts often enough to use it.
When he is ahead in counts against the left-handers, he's used it effectively with strikeouts. Got Gonzalez a couple of times. He got Laurie. Saltalamacchia, batting left-hander, went down on a changeup.
Ball and a strike to J.D. Drew. Punched into foul territory. It's the first game of a short 2-game series. Both the Red Sox and the Blue Jays will be off on Thursday. Two and two. Red Sox will go into Yankee Stadium Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Take on the Yanks. Blue Jays will go to Minnesota. Jesse Litch tomorrow against John Lackey. Ground ball, second base for one. Back to first, not in time. Broken back grounder. Really didn't have the zip on that ground ball to turn two.
Off the end of the bat, the shovel by Escobar. And you're right, not a whole lot that Hill or Encarnacion can do on that. Just wasn't hit hard enough.
So now there are two outs. Blue Jays have given up the lead here in the fifth. A two-run home run by Adrian Gonzalez after the leadoff walk. Gonzalez, his fifth home run of the season. His average at .317. A team high 27 RBI. Went too far. 0-2. Out in front of it. A little lazy fly ball into right. Bautista takes a couple of steps back. The Red Sox are retired, but they add two runs. Adrian Gonzalez. Opposite field, two-run shot. Boston leads it 4-3. From your seat contest, the Blackberry contest. Congratulations to Atomic from Toronto, who sent the picture of Jose Bautista on your television at home, and that's a pretty cool picture. The picture from the tweet. Congratulations to Atomic. Kyle Drabek sitting next to the pitching coach after he gave up the two-run home run here in the fifth. Two home runs allowed by Drabek tonight, and John Lester has the lead.
Those runs that the Blue Jays left on base the last couple of innings might come out to be pretty huge. Second and third in the third inning, and then a guy thrown out at the plate on a rundown in the fourth inning.
Looks like a botched squeeze play, and that proved costly. John Farrell put it on right after the triple by Rajai Davis, hoping to catch the Red Sox flat-footed. Davis had the triple to the gap in left center, and with one out, put the squeeze on, and somebody missed the sign. Ouch. Boy, that's right on top of the foot.
Well, That's the last thing the Blue Jays need right now. An injury to your best player. They already saw what it was like living without Bautista for a few days. Slider, that one looked like it got right on the ankle, right on top of the foot.
It looked like he hit it just on that left big toe. And you know, there's a guy standing at second base that is fully understanding exactly what Bautista is going through right now. Dustin Pedroia, during interleague play against the Giants in San Francisco, had a similar play and broke his foot and missed theoretically the rest of the season.
Yeah, tried to come back and he just wasn't the same.
1-2. Takes the breaking ball. Yeah, everybody makes light of those situations, but we've seen it more often than not. When you hit a ball like that down on top of your foot up against your ankle, there's always the possibility of a broken bone. 2-2, nobody out. Pop back out of play. Of course, Bautista missed 5 straight games with a stiff neck. And when he came back, he didn't miss a beat. Looked like the same Bautista we had seen before the injury. Home run, double. He hit the ball hard.
Yeah, tried to slip fastballs by him thinking that they had enough, but that's a mistake. Trying to throw a fastball by this guy.
Can't do it. He was out in front of that inside pitch. Jim Leyland, I was in his office on Monday after Brad Penny gave up a 2-run home run in the third to Bautista. He said, "You were trying to walk him right there, weren't you?" Drill to left field on the line, and you can kiss it goodbye. Number 11 for Jose Bautista. What an at-bat.
You foul a ball right off the top of your foot. The pitcher comes right back with the same pitch, misses his spot, and you hit a rope, frozen rope to left field, and it clears the fence. Watch how quickly this ball gets out. About 3 seconds.
A topspin liner into the Blue Jays bullpen. You know the interesting part about it? Bautista was headed for second as if that ball might hit the wall. Understanding leading off the inning. He's got to get into scoring position. Encarnacion bobbled by Lowry. He recovers in time for the first out of the inning.
Well, he never ceases to amaze us when he comes out on the field. Watch this. He knows that he had a line drive. There's a chance that this one might not go out. But then it got out, and he can get into that home run trot.
Yeah, leading off an inning, you hit a low line drive, and you've got to be thinking about getting in scoring position. And the ball went out of the ballpark, and he could break it down at that point. Boy, you really think about what it means to have Bautista back. He has walked and homered here, and he has tied the game up at 4-all. Change up down and away. Ball on the strike to Hill.
Jose is such a smart player. John Farrell was telling me the other day that they were facing Burnett, and he knows that Burnett likes to throw fastballs away, so he asked the coach and BP to throw the fastballs away. Let me work on hitting the ball to right field. And wouldn't you know, in that game, he doubled to right field. Remember that in Yankee Stadium?
Yep. Got to pitch away. He said, listen, pitch me away because A.J. Burnett likes to throw me a lot of fastballs away. I mean, he is so in-depth when he prepares for a game. It's amazing.
It's not by accident that he is putting up the kind of numbers.
No, and all the skeptics are saying, well, he'll never do it again. He's a one-year wonder, and all he's doing now is tied for the league in home runs, leading the league in batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage. And Hill hits it sharply, but right to Lowry at short. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell for an update. Yankees and Tampa Bay tied atop the American League East. Yankees have an edge by percentage points. They're 19-13. Tampa Bay is 20-14. Where'd Tampa Bay come from?
Yeah.
Huh?
1-8. Is that where they started?
Yep.
1-8.
All about pitching. Pitching keeps you in ball games and gives your offense a chance to win. Rivera pops it back out of play. Ball on the strike. We talk about John Lester coming into this game 39 games over 500. Obviously he hasn't had his best stuff tonight, but here he is pitching in the 5th inning in a 4-4 tie. Pitchers like this just have a knack for winning games.
Just find a way. Keep your team in it long enough and you will find a way. That's one of the lessons that Bruce Walton is talking to his young starter about.
Curveball in the dirt.
If Lester wins this game tonight to go 40 games over 500 for his career, he'd have the best winning percentage ever.
That's 1900. Lots of good pitchers have come down the pike. John Lester would have the best winning percentage of all. Line drive left field. Crawford came in and stabs it high over his head. Got fooled by the carry on that. Rivera's retired, but Jose Bautista leading off the 5th inning. Gets a breaking ball on the inner half and drills it into Blue Jays bullpen. 4-4 after 5. Be done for the rest of the night. He goes 5 innings, allows 8 hits, 4 earned runs, gave up a couple of home runs, one to Gonzalez, one to David Ortiz, and threw 109 pitches, just high pitch count over 5 innings.
Will pick up a no decision because of the home run by Bautista at times. Showed flashes of the things that are to come, I think, for Drabek. But you're right, just too many pitches, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, got that pitch count up to 109. So his night is done, and he will take a no decision into the clubhouse and turn it over to Jason Frazier. Last time we saw him a couple of days ago against Detroit, Jason had an inning, couple of hits, and a strikeout. Good numbers all the way around, though. This is his 17th game and a very good 176 earned run average.
Blue Jays bullpen has done a good job, and they're going to be asked to pitch at least 4 innings here tonight. Carl Crawford will face Frazier. First pitch strike. Judd Farrell is always looking at matchups before he makes decisions on who he's going to bring into the ball game, and this matchup favors Jason Frazier. Crawford just 3 for 16 against Farrell's right-hander. 0-2. And you know, that's a psychological boost for Frazier. You know, he has such a good visual of pitching to Carl Crawford. He jumps ahead 0-2.
Now he has to finish him off. You're right about John Farrell. He doesn't miss too much. Understands pitching, understands the dynamics of it, who's coming up, and the matchups.
3 pitches, and Crawford strikes out. Good start to the inning for Frazier.
It looked like 3 fastballs. The last one elevated right across the letters, and Carl Crawford can't catch up to it.
1 down in the 6th. Crawford's been swinging a much better bat. He has a hit and an RBI so far. Number 9 hitter Jared Saltalamacchia looks at a first pitch fastball. Saltalamacchia came to the Red Sox from the Texas Rangers last season. And we're hopeful that he would be able to come over here and take the majority of the workload behind the plate. He got off to a bit of a slow start this season, and Jason Varitek caught a little bit more than they anticipated he would early on.
He's 25 years old. Came up with the Braves organization, went to Texas in that Teixeira deal. He's always been known as an offensive catcher. This year, just 200, no home runs, 7 RBIs. Saw him last year when they picked him up and said, oh boy, the Red Sox stole another catcher from another organization. They got Varitek for nothing from the Seattle Mariners.
Varitek and Derek Lowe for Heathcliff Slocum. Good or bad?
Great. Both of those 2 guys are still playing, yeah. Lowe and Varitek. Great contributions for the World Series team. And it looked like the same thing with Saltalamacchia.
Full count.
Time will tell, though.
Well, Saltalamacchia, all throughout the Braves minor leagues, hit everywhere he went. 2005, he had a great season at Myrtle Beach. Hit 19 home runs and drove in 81. And the Braves, under Bobby Cox and some of the coaches over there, thought he was going to develop into Ted Simmons, a hard-hitting, switch-hitting catcher. Strike 3 call. Frazier gets him with a fastball on the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jason Frazier.
It's tough to label young players like that against a guy who got almost 3,000 hits. And Frazier paints that outside corner. Jason Frazier now has a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Pretty impressive.
Well, you know what, and I've always said, if you get a reliever coming in throwing strikes, you don't give the hitters much information, and they can have quick innings. And Frazier is a very good strike thrower. And now he's really pitching with a lot of confidence as well. There's that changeup that catches the outside corner. In and out, don't give him much information. Challenge the hitters to put it in play.
That was the worst. It could just turn the complexion of a game around. When you got a reliever coming in and just pumping strikes like this. It lifts you up when you're on defense, and it deflates you when you're trying to hit.
It certainly doesn't encourage the Red Sox when he strikes out the first 2 batters of the inning and has Ellsbury in a hole 0-2. Late on the fastball. Now here's another perfect example of a pitcher that commands his fastball. We heard from John Farrell in his interview talking about fastball command. And I asked him specifically about the overall starting staff. He said that's the one thing that caused more problems, is just their lack of the ability to command the fastball.
Takes a lot of practice. Got to get out there.
What an inning for Jason Frazier. Comes out of the bullpen and strikes out the side. Carl Crawford, always tough to strike out. Frazier Has had a lot of success against Crawford. Gets Saltalamacchia with a fastball on the corner. And another heater gets Ellsbury. We're tied at 4. Ontario, you'll be watching Connected. There's more baseball. Sportsnet Pacific, it'll be the White Sox at the Los Angeles Angels. Sportsnet West, Diamondbacks versus the Giants. Lots of baseball action. 10 o'clock Eastern time. Pierre Ncibia cuts on the first pitch. Well, the San Francisco Giants are getting great pitching. One right after another. And Lincecum off to another great start. Just wonder what's going to happen with the Chicago White Sox. They've won 3 in a row now, starting to show signs of life.
This is what happened to them last year. Right around the middle of May, they started getting hot after a horrible start.
Paul Konerko continues to do what he does. He's got 8 homers and his 7th in the league in batting average. Had a 5-for-5 night the other day.
Carlos Quentin had a big game yesterday.
Quentin leads the American League with 15 doubles.
I think they're a dangerous team, the White Sox.
Long drive left field. Ncibia. Crawford at the wall. Home run. J.P. Ncibia. Number 5 for the Blue Jays catcher. 5-4 Jays.
Yeah, Lester got J.P. Ncibia to swing over the top of a breaking ball early in that at bat, and it looked like he went right back to it, but this time he hung it right into the wheelhouse, and I think Ncibia knows he got it. Go down, get it, dig it out, and elevate it. Plenty of pop to left field, and we're untied.
Boy, is he strong. No stride whatsoever. Used his hands to get to that breaking ball.
I think he's going to be a good hitter.
Very quiet at the plate.
Quiet.
Doesn't take a lot of real wild swings.
And he hits with his hands. A lot of times you see young hitters come up and they hit with their arms and they have holes in their swing. Lester goes back to the breaking ball, and with your hands he gets his bat head into the spot to hit it hard. Got that natural uppercut swing where he can lift the ball out of the ballpark.
John McDonald with the count in his favor. McDonald has fried out twice tonight. He was robbed by Carl Crawford in the 2nd inning. At a line drive, Crawford ran down on the warning track in left center. Off the plate. 3-1. McDonald takes the walk. Lester into the 6th inning. Another left-hander. That's Rich Hill, former starter, and now reliever, loosening up for Boston. Terry Francona checking out the matchup forms behind him. See what they've got. He knows they don't have much on the bench. Lind is unable to play. Molina, the backup catcher, and Cooper. Only one guy, basically.
Yeah, you don't want to use your catcher unless you have to. Your backup catcher.
Rajay Davis tripled his last time up. Squares around the bunt, takes the ball, and fouls it. Davis hit that triple in the 4th inning with 1 out. And then the Blue Jays immediately put a play on. Looked like a squeeze play that Escobar didn't get the sign for. This is a good time to switch off after the bunt attempt. Start McDonald at first, play hit and run.
Lester is going to be around the plate. Infields are starting to move even before he throws the ball. And like a good veteran, he does the right thing. He throws over to first base to see if the batter tips anything off. And it looked like Davis was starting to slide his hand up that bat, giving away that he was going to bunt.
It's a bunt and run this time as McDonald was on the move, and Davis can't get it down in fair territory. Blue Jays haven't had too many opportunities of late to be creative with their offense. Just haven't had a whole lot of base runners lately. They were no hit on Saturday. Brad Penny handled them very effectively on Sunday, and then Max Scherzer improved to 6-0. Been quite a run of starting pitchers they've dealt with lately.
You can back that up also to David Price last week in Tampa.
Bounced outside of third.
But you got to figure it out.
Yep. This is what you're dealing with. You're going to see tough pitchers just about every night. Don Lackey will go to the mound for the Red Sox tomorrow night. Sooner or later, in my estimation, Lackey's going to get it turned around. He's got a 7.16 ERA and a 2-4 record. Another foul. The league's hitting .317 against John Lackey, and he's a much better pitcher than that.
He certainly is. His track record shows that. Big Hoss will give you a lot of innings. Red Sox have the type of staff that can go out there every single night with Josh Beckett and Buchholz and Lackey, Lester, Daisuke Matsusaka, give you a chance to win every single night.
Josh Beckett looks like the old Josh Beckett, 2-1 with a 1.99 ERA. League hitting .174 against Beckett. They've got all the pieces in place, and if Beckett's healthy, he can lead any staff. A ball and 2 strikes. Rajay Davis batting in the 9th spot. John Farrell trying to get him going offensively. Take him out of the limelight a little bit. Drop him down in the order. See if he can't get that stroke down.
Get that down. Get that going. And it feeds right into the start of that lineup again.
Outside.
You know, think about it. If he gets on base, Bautista then is going to come up with some guys on base. Escobar Patterson before him.
That last pitch was 111 for Lester. That ties his season high. Did that 3 starts ago against the Angels. Poked out of play. In that game against the Angels, he actually won that ball game. He went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, no runs, struck out 8 to 111 pitches in 6 innings. That's a lot of work.
That was just 6 innings. A lot like this one here tonight. but he only has 4 strikeouts.
Davis goes down. Looked like the changeup down and away for the strikeout. 1 out here in the 6th.
Make it 5 now. Off-speed pitch. He's pitching on 6 days rest. They elected to skip him the 1 turn with the off day, push him back and get him off that. And he just hasn't looked as sharp as we have seen him in the past.
Well, they've had a lot of problems with their starting pitcher. They've had rainouts, they've had extra inning games, they've had rain delays, and they've really had to mix and match their pitching.
Ow!
That got Escobar down around the knee. That ball hit him hard.
Saltalamacchia slides to the end half, and it hits him right in the shin. And now John Farrell, George Poulos are going to come out right on the bone. And you can see the reaction from Escobar.
Yeah, that hit him flush just above that ankle. Now Francona has come out. He has taken the ball from John Lester. They'll go to the bullpen. Lester will pitch here into the 6th inning, but leaves, turns it over to Rich Hill, another left-hander. By George Poulos, and John Farrell has really been challenged with these injuries. And Escobar got hit squarely above that ankle bone on his left leg, and David Cooper has come out to pinch run for Escobar. You can see Escobar's had a lot of pain, and John Lester has been lifted from this ball game after he hit Escobar. Cooper takes over as the pinch runner at first. He will play first base, I would imagine, and Condition goes to third. McDonald will go to short. Rich Hill, the left-hander, is in his 3rd appearance since coming up from the minors.
They signed him as a minor league free agent last June 30th. Came up through the Cubs organization and really burst on the scene for the Cubbies. Won 11 games back in 2007. They were the ERA under 4. 183 strikeouts, and just hasn't been able to find that form since then.
He has become a relief pitcher. He dropped his arm angle down a little bit, trying to use that big sweeping breaking ball to help him get the lefties. There's that breaking ball, and Patterson swings right through it. Hill is from the Boston area. He grew up in Milton, Mass. Went to University of Michigan, where he pitched 3 years for the Wolverines, and then was a 4th-round pick of the Cubs in 2002. Another breaking ball drilled to right field. J.D. Drew on the run. Ellsbury over, and Ellsbury makes the catch in the gap. John McDonald tags up and moves over to third base. But now there are 2 down. Well, before the game, Alex Anthopoulos was asked by the media whether or not Lynn might have to go on a disabled list. He said, "We're going to investigate that possibility." And now there's more concerns. You can see he's got his phone in his hand, and he'll communicate with the training staff to see what the status is of Yunel Escobar. And John Farrell, he has just been really hamstrung by the wide variety of injuries, some disabling, some not.
Yeah, and that's the bad thing, that you're not sure if you have a player, go on the disabled list or don't go on the disabled list. Is it going to be 1 day? Is it going to be 3 days? And right now, with Cooper into the game and Lynn really unavailable, the only player he has on the bench is Jose Molina. Something is going to have to be done to get some players here who can help him. It's hard to manage a team when you've only got really one move to make in a game.
And now they're really down to no moves after using Cooper. Bautista homered his last at bat. Breaking ball off the plate inside. Now the fans are booing as if there was some intent after Escobar got hit. He got hit with a hard breaking ball. Now Bautista jumps back from a breaking ball.
Command has always been a problem with Rich Hill when he was with the Cubs and then with Baltimore. First came up, it was hard fastball, hard breaking ball.
Hot shot to short. Lowry will go to second for the force out, and Rich Hill comes in and retires the 2 batters he faced. We have played 6 innings here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays have a 5-4 lead. Defensively at first base. With that move, Edwin Encarnacion moves from first to third base, and that pushes the third baseman John McDonald from third to short. So McDonald will play defensively in place of Yunel Escobar, who had to leave the game after being hit by a pitch.
Got to be able to be flexible. If you are keeping score at home, you can take Cooper, pencil him into the leadoff spot for Escobar.
So the Blue Jays, on the home run by J.B. Arencibia, have taken the lead. Dustin Pedroia Adrian Gonzalez, Kevin Youkilis, the scheduled batters here in the 7th. Jason Frazier in his second inning of work struck out the side in the 6th. Another strike from Frazier.
He's looked very sharp. But that might be his last batter of the night as Zepchinski has gotten up with the left-handers coming up behind Pedroia. Zep is up. He started throwing when the Blue Jays were hitting. So it looks like he's ready.
Gonzalez, the left-hander, then the right-hander Youkilis, David Ortiz, and Drew, both left-handed batters. So it's a good stretch for Zepchinski should Farrell choose to go in that direction. Pedroia's walked twice tonight. He's also lined out. There he has his first hit of the night. A ringing single into center. The starters haven't pitched too deep into the ball games for the Blue Jays, and because of that, the bullpen has had to work an awful lot. They lead the majors in innings pitched, and it's awfully early in the season.
Yeah, it certainly is. They have 120.1 innings already here the second week of May. But I think by the end of the season, that'll all work itself out. Mark Zepchinski is ready, and he jogs in from left field with all the left-handers coming up. Jason Frazier retires 3 of the 4 batters he faces. And we'll be right back. The Blue Jays clinging to a 5-4 lead.
From 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and join Bob McCowan on Primetime Sports. He'll bring you up to date on all the baseball action around both leagues. He'll bring you up to date on the NBA and NHL playoffs. You can also listen at fan590.com. Bob McCowan, great sports talk radio host, and he is with you weekdays from 4 to 7 on Sportsnet 1. New pitcher for the Blue Jays is the left-hander Mark Zepchinski. He will be in here with nobody out and the man at first.
18th time this year that Zepchinski has been called into a ball game. Now tied for second in the American League in appearances. And great numbers all the way around.
Really improved his walk ratio lately. Early on in the season, sometimes that was a concern. 0-1 to Gonzalez. Breaking ball down and away. Dustin Pedroia with the leadoff single here in the 7th. Gonzalez, the opposite field 2-run home run, came off the Kyle Drabeck after a Pedroia walk in the 5th. Fastball. 1-2. Boy, Zebczynski has really done a good job not only getting the left-handers out, but he has been able to get a little more velocity, a little more movement on his fastball, and that's helped him against the righties.
Transitioning into the bullpen, he's saying that he could throw a little bit harder, give a little bit more. You don't have to pace yourself like a starter does. And he has picked up a ton of strikeouts.
Blue Jays lead 5-4. Blue Jays have hit a couple home runs in this ball game. Jose Bautista leadoff home run in the 5th. And J.P. Arancibia, the difference in the ball game, his solo home run came in the 6th. Arancibia's 5th of the season. There goes Pedroia. They got him picked off. It goes off Cooper's glove. Pedroia had a shot to go to third base, but John McDonald decoyed him as if there were a throw coming to second, and Pedroia slid. Boy, they had him picked off.
They certainly did. They really had him hung out to dry. We will see how they score. Zebczynski with the throw over, and it goes off the glove of Cooper. You can see that Pedroia wasn't even halfway there when he dropped it. And Mac decoys the runner like there's going to be a play, and that gets Pedroia down, and he can't advance to third base.
Cooper is charged with the error that allows Pedroia to move into scoring position. Johnny Mac, a heads-up play, forced Pedroia into a slide. Two balls and 2 strikes on the Red Sox first baseman. Well, Zebczynski guessed right with Pedroia. Pedroia went on his first move, but the ball went off Cooper's glove.
That would have been huge. They picked off Ellsbury in the first inning, which was huge, and they didn't score. They also had a runner thrown out at the plate.
Wow. That was a wicked drive into the seats. You could see Gonzalez had that breaking ball on his mind.
Crossed him up and threw him a fastball, an emergency swing.
I'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dustin Pedroia at second base. Full count.
Zebczynski's been so good in this situation against left-handers because he has the ability and the confidence to throw a breaking ball when he's behind in the count. Catch a lot of hitters off guard.
Breaking ball grounded to short, knocked down by McDonald. Doesn't have a play. Gonzalez going the opposite way on a breaking ball. McDonald anticipated the ball was going to be pulled, but Gonzalez slapped it the other way.
He also had coverage behind second base. You can see where he is playing, and he takes a step to his left, anticipating a breaking ball hit up the middle, and that's what cost him. Knocks it down so Pedroia cannot advance.
And that's a natural move by a shortstop. He sees the signals from the catcher, sees the breaking ball on its way, and anticipates, and rightly so, that the ball is going to be pulled. So now tough spot for Zebczynski. Kevin Youkilis with 2 on and nobody out. First pitch strike. Youkilis is 0 for 3 tonight. As John Farrell knows this Red Sox lineup very well, having coached them since 2007. He's the pitching coach. He's seen this act before with Youkilis at the plate. He's such a tough hitter.
And he knows what Terry Francona wants to do. what hitters are looking for in these situations.
This is a big bat right here. Euclid 0-2. Francona's got Ortiz and Drew next. If you can get Euclid out, then the momentum shifts to Zebchinski's favor with two left-handers. 0-2.
That base hit by Adrian Gonzalez, that infield single, was just a third hit he's given up to a left-handed batter all season long.
Big Papi on deck. Has had a big night. Single, double, homer. 3 for 3. He scored 2 runs. Way outside. This Red Sox team, I don't care where you're playing them. You play them in Fenway Park, you play them here at Rogers Center, they'll wear you down. A veteran team built for the postseason. They have guys that have had a lot of experience in tough situations, and they're never out of it. 1-2. Euclid hits it on the ground. Encarnacion to second for 1. No return throw. So they get the runner at second base, Gonzalez. Euclid is safe at first. Now there are runners at the corners and 1 out.
Tough throw for Aaron Hill to try and turn a double play on. Ball was hit hard enough right at Encarnacion, but his throw, you see how Hill's got to reach back with the backhand. Stop his momentum. Possible double play ball right here, but Hill's got to backhand it, and now he's got to come up throwing, and good job taking him out by Gonzalez.
Unless you get that throw middle of your chest, you don't have much of a chance. David Ortiz, 1 out. Hits it off his foot and foul at the plate. Ortiz has been on everything he's swung at tonight.
His double was hit hard to right center. His home run to dead center, time right off the top of his shoe. A lot like Jose Bautista.
It generally happens when a pitcher has a lot of movement. And of course, Zebchinski has a lot of movement with that fastball, as does John Lester. Bautista fouled the ball off his foot from Lester, and David Ortiz trying to wave off the training staff. They're going to come out and console him a bit. Well, Ortiz not going to give up this at bat. He's 3 for 3.
Well, he's got a runner through base. Less than 2 out also.
No bones sticking out, so he's going to swing.
No blood, no foul.
Nope. A 5-4 ball game. Blue Jays have a 1-run lead here, top of the 7th inning. Pedroia singled to start the inning. He's at third. Euclid hit into the fielder's choice. On the ground, Zebchinski. Second for 1. McDonald back to first. What a job by Mark Zebchinski. He gets out of it. After giving up the fielder's choice, he gets Ortiz to hit into a double play. A 1-6-3 double play ends the 7th. Blue Jays still lead by 1. TD Comfort Zone are folks from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Being entertained to quite a ball game. A 5-4 Blue Jays lead here. Bottom of the seventh. Rich Hill, the second pitcher for the Red Sox, throws a first pitch strike. Hill came in and retired the last two batters to end the sixth. That breaking ball broke all the way from the left-handed hitter's batter's box.
Swept right across to the inside part of the plate. For a right-handed batter, you can't give up on it. Got to stay with it.
Line to the glove of Euclid with a dive. Euclid diving to his left. First out of the seventh.
Kevin Euclid won a Gold Glove, but on the other side of the diamond when he was a first baseman a few years ago for the Boston Red Sox. Shows you he's a good athlete. Played third base in high school, played third base in college at the University of Cincinnati, and takes a hit away from Edwin Encarnacion there to lead off the seventh.
Breaking ball missed to Aaron Hill. Hill has an RBI, officially 0 for 3 tonight. Drove in a run with a fielder's choice in the first inning. Blue Jays still struggling to get their entire everyday lineup back together. Hill just off the disabled list. Bautista had been on the shelf for 5 days. Now Adam Lind is unable to play. They lose Yunel Escobar tonight, hit by a pitch.
I mean, it's getting ridiculous, isn't it? I've never seen a team in the early parts of a season go through something like this.
Sweeping breaking ball. Hill swings over the top of it. Yeah, it's very early in the season. Boy, there have been a lot of changes. Jason Nix is on the mend. He is on the disabled list. He had that bone bruise on the hard slide by Sean Rodriguez in the Tampa Bay series. He's playing now in the rehab assignment.
Down in Dunedin, he's been into the last couple of games, and he's very close.
He's close to coming back. Scott Podsednik is in AAA with Las Vegas, as is Dwayne Wise, a couple of veteran outfielders.
Both of them very close to being ready.
Big slow breaking ball. Hill gives him another off-speed pitch. 2 outs in the seventh. Let's check in on the farm report. More good news coming out of Las Vegas. Adam Lowe in his last 7 games played, a .375 average. He's playing first base since David Cooper has come to the big leagues, and Eric Thames. Look at his record over his last 8 at-bats, 6 hits, including 3 home runs. Travis Snyder is yet to homer in 40 at-bats in AAA, but he's getting his hits. So after the strikeout of Hill, Juan Rivera will be the right-hander. A pitching change. Alfredo Aceves comes in. 2 outs in the seventh. John Papelbon allowed an inherited run to score. So Aceves making his 9th appearance of the season.
He was signed as a free agent this past February. Spent the last few years with the New York Yankees. It was a very good pitcher out of the bullpen for the Yankees. Was injured last year, just got into 10 games, but a couple of years ago, he got into 43 games and had 84 innings for the Yankees out of their pen, serving as a long man for this team. As you see John McDonald go over the scouting report on Alfredo Aceves. Sinker slider. Lots of strikes also.
Juan Rivera with 2 outs. Turns at the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Aceves was a pretty valuable pitcher for the Yankees over the last couple of years. A guy that they could use in multiple roles. Last year he dealt with a lot of injuries and just never could stay healthy.
Back problems shelved him after 10 games last year. It was 12 innings. But when he was healthy back in 2009, Aceves again 69 strikeouts, just 16 base on balls. So you're going to get a lot of strikes when he's out there. He was 10-1 with the Yankees that year, pitching out of the bullpen.
Well, that's a pretty good role where you can come in and keep the opposition at bay, and with that Yankee lineup they can come back and score runs late in the game. That's how you pick up those wins. Now Aceves has hit another batter here and the fans are reacting. You know, Escobar was removed from the ball game after he was hit by a John Lester pitch in the 6th inning. I don't think there was any intent with Escobar. I don't see any intent here in this situation. Aceves just wild.
Right on that tricep muscle. Your whole arm will go dead if you're hitting the right spot there.
JP Arencibia, difference in this ball game, his solo home run in the 6th. Escobar, we've given an update on his situation. He's got a bruise on his left lower leg. Won't really get a good read on him till tomorrow, till he reports to the ballpark.
Soak it in ice tonight. Maybe get a little treatment.
2 balls and a strike to JP Arencibia.
He's been busy.
Boy, George Poulos and the entire medical staff has been very busy. Just trying to get guys on the field. You know, it's one thing if you have a disabling injury like Nix and Aaron Hill, you replace them right away. But the ones that really hang you up, Escobar is day-to-day, Lind is day-to-day. They're basically unavailable, but you're not really sure how long they're going to be out.
Jose Bautista was day-to-day with his neck problem. And when you're dealing with a short bench to begin with, it makes it very tough to have in-game moves. Every position for the Blue Jays, except for catchers, and those guys have been splitting time, have missed time this year so far. Everyday position.
Arencibia takes the walk. 2 on, 2 outs. Boy, that's a good point. You think about it. And Lynn's got the back problem now. Hill was on a disabled list. Escobar was out earlier with a concussion.
Encarnacion with the wrist. He was day-to-day. Missed a few games but didn't go on the DL. Bautista. Rajay Davis.
John McDonald. Looks at the first pitch strike. Just a 1-run game here. Mark Sepchinski is in the ball game. Boy, he did a good job coming on in relief in the 7th. Ball in the strike, 2 outs. And Sevis is the 3rd Red Sox pitcher to work here tonight. Hill came in and worked an inning in the 3rd. Retired all 4 batters he faced. Way outside. Red Sox have out-hit the Blue Jays 10-7, but they trail 5-4.
Fredo Sevis really working up a lather out there. His cap is just soaked. Not that hot in the building tonight, is it?
He's feeling it.
Look at that. It's like he dunked it in a bucket of water.
It's reminiscent of Jim Bibby, who used to pitch for the Rangers and the Indians. He'd have that happen like that every game.
Pitching down in Texas, can you imagine? Wow, look at that.
Full count, 2 outs. The runners will be on the move. There they go. McDonald deep to left field, but that is a foul ball. Boy, he gave it a ride. Had a good idea he was going to get a fastball.
That was the hit that they were looking for. Something to just bust this game open. Fastball on the inner half, and he's just a little bit too early. Plenty of distance, but he knows it's foul. You can see his reaction. Straightener out.
Sevis went 4 2/3 just 3 days ago against the Twins. That bullpen has worked an awful lot. There's the walk. The bases will be loaded. Now Sevis has come in the ball game. He's hit a batter and walked 2. All with 2 outs.
Yeah, Rich Hill faces 4 batters, gets them all out, but that's not good enough. Go to the bullpen. As Sevis comes in, he's thrown a ton of pitches. Hasn't retired anybody, so Kurt Young's going to talk to him a little bit.
Well, this is a big game for the Blue Jays. They lost 3 of 4 to the Tigers, and they have knocked John Lester out of the ball game. They're holding on to a 1-run lead. They need to add to this lead right here. And Fredo Sevis is struggling. Tim Wakefield, the veteran knuckleballer, is loosening up.
He just got up, and it's not going to take him long to get loose with the knuckleball pitcher.
Okajima went 2 innings last night. Albers went 2 innings 2 nights ago. Their bullpen has been used a lot. They don't have many options down there.
Well, they had that, what was it, 13 or 14 inning game where it ended going on 3 o'clock in the morning last week.
Long rain delay. So Sevis and Saltalamacchia trying to get on the same page. A lot of confusion here for Sevis in this inning. He's hit a batter and walked here, and he's got the bases loaded now. Blue Jays need to take advantage of this bases loaded situation. First pitch, breaking ball.
You know, big game for the Red Sox also. They're trying to get to 500 after the start that they had this year.
Ajay Davis has been a big producer with the bases loaded, including a couple of grand slams. Right field, J.D. Drew is there. He hit it hard, but right at the right fielder. So Aceves comes in, and it was a struggle. He loaded the bases, but he gets out of it. We've played 7 at Rogers Center. Blue Jays have a 1-run lead. Canada Foundation, giving back to the communities we serve. Back here at Rogers Center tomorrow will be the right-hander Jesse Litch trying to improve his record. He is 3-2 with a good ERA at 4.04. John Lackey will go to the mound for the Red Sox. A short 2-game series. It'll be on Sportsnet 1 tomorrow. The action begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time with the pregame show. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. The final of this short 2-game series. Red Sox will move on to New York, have an off day on Thursday before they play 3 night games against the Yankees. Mark Zepchinski set to face J.D. Drew. Delivers the first pitch strike. It's a 5-4 ball game. Run and shoot. Zepchinski works while John Roush loosens up in the Blue Jays bullpen.
This will be interesting to see how far they extend with Mark Zepchinski. The way he's throwing, I'm thinking about 2 innings, trying to get 2 innings out of him. He came in after the leadoff single and then retired the Red Sox last inning, and now Drew strikes out to lead off this inning. Lowry and then the very dangerous Carl Crawford on deck.
Lowry's a switch hitter. He'll bat right-handed against Zepchinski. Cuts on the first pitch and pops it out of play. Lowry .432 as a right-handed hitter. Carl Crawford, a lefty, is on deck. Lowry, all 3 of his home runs have come as a right-handed hitter. Drills that ball towards center field. Davis is on the run. It's over his head. It is off the wall. Lowry headed for second base, and he'll get there standing up, a 1-out double.
He's not real big in stature, but he can get the bat head out and got some pop. He showed that in Boston. A couple of home runs against the Blue Jays the last time we were there. This time drives over the head of Davis for extra bases. So now Lowry will be pulled for the pinch runner. Double the season for Lowry. Jose Iglesias, a youngster, has taken over at second base. One of their best prospects.
Highly touted shortstop prospect comes into the game as the pinch runner after Lowry delivers a one-out double. Iglesias can run, and he's a very good defender. Carl Crawford. Kopczynski will check on the pinch runner. Jose Iglesias came up to the Red Sox after Marco Scutaro was disabled. Alfredo Aceves got out of a bases loaded jam. Grounded to first. Cooper will flip it to Zebchinski. He was a little bit in between. Looked like Cooper was going to take it himself, and then at the last minute flipped it to the pitcher. 2 outs.
Anytime you can take it yourself, especially with a runner at second base, you've got to take it. You're in position then to check out that runner. Pitcher's got his back to him. You see the ground ball to the right side. Watch the indecision. He's thinking about it and then flips it. Zebchinski's back is to the runner.
So Mark Zebchinski will stay in to face the switch hitting Jared Saltalamacchia. He will bat right hand. First pitch, base hit. That'll tie it up. Saltalamacchia jumped on the first pitch. It was up and out over the plate, and he ripped it into left.
You can see why he's an offensive catcher. That time, good balance at the plate. First pitch fastball, and he rips it into left field, and Mark Zebchinski knew it. Missed his spot.
So we are knotted up at 5. Back to the top of the order. Jacoby Ellsbury has a couple of hits in 4 at-bats. Ellsbury has pumped his average up 6 points, up to 297. He's also extended his hit streak to 19 games. Three hits for Ellsbury. Sharp single into center. First and second with 2 outs. You can see why Ellsbury is able to have that extended hit streak. He is swinging a hot bat.
Yeah, he certainly is. That front shoulder didn't move at all. Stayed right there. 3 more hits. He was also robbed of a hit the second time up. A blast to center field.
So Mark Zebchinski will leave in favor of John Roush. When Roush comes in, he will face Dustin Pedroia with 2 on and 2 out. It's tied at 5. red-hot Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays have won 8 straight games on the road. They have really put together a great stretch.
Impressive stuff. John Roush will try and come in here and snuff this rally out by the Boston Red Sox. 15th game of the season for Roush. He leads this team with 5 saves. John Farrell now has indicated that he is going to talk about maybe Roush and Francisco trading back and forth in save situations. Jacoby Ellsbury with his 3rd hit is over at first base, and Terry Francona has gone to his bench again.
Darnell McDonald takes over as the pinch runner for the catcher, Jared Saltalamacchia. John Roush with 2 outs facing Dustin Pedroia. Cut fastball on the outside corner.
It's interesting how Francona waited till the runner got into scoring position before he went to his bench. Didn't want to have to burn a player unless he felt it had a chance to change the outcome of the game.
0-1 to Pedroia. Popped down the right side, hit it hard, but well fouled. Well, when you make a move with a catcher, it's going to cost you 2. So that's why Francona waited until after the Ellsbury hit to move Saltalamacchia into second. Then he said, okay, I got to take a shot right here.
Yeah.
I'll burn 2 players with that potential lead runner out there at second. 0-2. Jared Saltalamacchia with an RBI single left has tied it at 5-all here in the 8th.
See the outfield very shallow in left and shallow in center field. Any ball to the outfield will have a shot at the runner at the plate. Corey Patterson, the left fielder, already has 1 assist tonight.
Threw out Carl Crawford in the 4th inning. Strong throw right on the money. Ellsbury had single. Crawford was trying to score from second. And Patterson nailed him at the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. McDonald at second, Ellsbury at first. Just off the plate. 2-2. Kyle Drabek started. He went 5 innings, was charged with 4 runs on 8 hits. Jason Frazier pitched an inning plus a batter, gave up a hit, struck out 3. And Mark Zepchinski has given way to John Roush here with 2 outs in the 8th. Bounce to third, and Encarnacion will go to the bag and retire Pedroia. Roush comes out of the bullpen and shuts down the rally. We are tied at 5-all, bottom of the 8th inning. Now it's time for a connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell in the Blackberry broadcast studio. appearance of the season, and he's got a big arm. 17 strikeouts in 17 2/3 innings.
Yeah, just 4 base on balls for Bard. Good hard fastball, good curveball. He's tied for 6th in the American League in holds, pitching in front of Jonathan Papelbon. He's going to try and hold it right here. Jason Varitek comes off the bench, and you talk about the burning 2-for-1 players. Here it is right here. Varitek, the catcher, will take over after the pitch run for Saltalamacchia. And Jose Iglesias, who came in to pinch run himself, remains in the game at shortstop.
So the Red Sox are down to a single player on their bench, the veteran Mike Cameron. David Cooper came on as a pinch runner in the 6th for Escobar. Looks at the first pitch fastball for a strike. Cooper's first at bat. That first pitch was 97 from Daniel Bard.
It's nice and free and easy, that fastball. Really gets on you quickly.
Triple digits from Bard. Blue Jays have seen that all too frequently of late. Justin Verlander on Saturday, 5 times late in the ball game. 2 balls and a strike. Frank Francisco loosening up for the Blue Jays. Three and one.
It's one thing that we have learned about David Cooper as we watched him this year. This is his 9th game. He's got a very good eye at the plate. Got an idea up there. He doesn't usually fish for pitches out of the strike zone.
Just on the outside corner at 99. There weren't a whole lot of Daniel Bards in the Pacific Coast League.
I was just thinking the same thing. You don't see these kind of guys day in and day out like you do in the big leagues.
Full count. Foul back. That's the one thing Cooper talked about in the difference between what he's seen in regular season compared to what he saw in spring training. He said pitchers in spring training don't show you how they're going to try to get you out. He said, I've never seen so many good fastballs on the inside part of the strike zone as I've seen since I've been in the big leagues. Full count, nobody out. Tie ball game at 5-all. Drilled to right field. J.D. Drew on the run. David Cooper, home run! First major league home run gives the Blue Jays the lead here in the 8th.
I think he learned something about those fastballs on the inner part of the plate. All you have to do is shorten that swing and make sure you get the barrel out in front, because they are going to supply the power. And it comes at a great time here in the 8th inning to get your first big league home run.
What a great swing by David Cooper. He had 2 home runs in the minors, and this is a big one.
Get the barrel out in front. And you know he's saying, get up.
6-5 Jays lead. What a pretty swing that was. First major league home run has given the Jays the lead here in the 8th. Against one of the top setup pitchers in baseball.
Take that. 99 miles an hour.
Adam Lind had to come out and congratulate Cooper. Everybody likes it when somebody hits their first major league home run, and boy, what a big time for your first bomb.
He'll remember that against Daniel Bard, one of the best in the American League. Turn that fastball around.
Corey Patterson chases that off-speed pitch. Let's take another look at the third home run for the Jays tonight. First career big league home run for David Cooper.
That's a deep part of the ballpark here in right center field. All carry. Hopefully they have somebody out there getting that ball for it.
What a great memory for David Cooper. Now they just want to make sure that it's a game winner. Jose Bautista, he's homered here tonight. His 11th of the season. He now has 20 RBI. Hard slider. Bautista with a big swing, pops it a mile high into shallow right. J.D. Drew makes the catch. 2 outs here, bottom of the 8th inning. Frank Francisco is ready. John Roush retired, the only batter he faced in the 8th. And David Cooper's first big league home run has given the Jays the lead. He came on as a pinch runner in the 6th inning for Yunel Escobar. He had an eventful night. He was charged with an error, and his only at bat hits his first big league homer.
Now they got to make it stand up.
I think Rajay Davis is enjoying the home run as much as David Cooper. Cued off the end of the bat. It's 0-2 on Encarnacion. The Red Sox about hit the Blue Jays 13-8. But the Jays have out homered Boston 3-2. Isn't it interesting? Cooper was talking about the quality fastballs he'd seen, and in that at bat he saw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball from Bard, but it's all relative. Once you start to get the timing and get the head out, all of a sudden that's not such a challenging pitch.
You said in too, and that's where that ball was. It was a little bit in. I think Dwayne Murphy's excited for his young hitter.
You bet he is. Love to see everybody have success, and he works with all of them on a regular basis. High pop-up into foul ground. Youkilis is there, and Encarnacion is retired, but the Blue Jays have taken the lead here in the 8th inning. A memorable home run for David Cooper. His first big league home run comes against Daniel Bard and gives the Jays a 1-run lead after 8. goodbye waiting. Another first only from Rogers.
Well, right now this is an easy one. David Cooper inside fastball. He's going to turn it around for his first big league home run. And right now the difference in the ball game, and doesn't that feel good trotting around the bases.
He is yet to smile when he went back in the dugout, but you can bet he got a smile deep inside, trying to keep his heart inside his jersey. Daniel Bard threw some 100-mile-an-hour fastballs in that bat, but Cooper with his first big league home run. Now Frank Francisco trying to make it a game winner.
Saved the game on Friday against Detroit, which was his second of the season. Frank Francisco's ERA is at 2.7. He's only worked 6 2/3 innings this season. Started the year on the DL, and now comes out and tries to get number 3, but it's going to be tough. You got to go right down through the heart of the Red Sox lineup.
Gonzalez, Youkilis, and Ortiz in the ninth. Adrian Gonzalez, a 2-run homer and a single in his last 2 at-bats. Must have been low. Left field, long drive. Patterson watches it sail away. 2 home runs for Adrian Gonzalez, both to the opposite field. We're tied again at 6-all.
Gonzalez stayed behind that ball. But this was set up by this pitch right here. Aaron Sebia is away. That one's right down the middle at the knees. It's called a ball. So now Aaron Sebia sets up a little bit more, and it's a fastball clobbered out of the ballpark.
6-6 game, back to square one. Gonzalez, what a hitter. 3 hits tonight, 2 home runs. He's driven in 3.
Tough to come back a power hitter when you're down. It's very different hitting 0-1 as opposed to 1-0.
Well, it opens up the possibility of throwing that split finger pitch for Francisco. The 11th career multi-home run game for the Red Sox first baseman. Two balls and a strike to Kevin Youkilis. He is 0 for 4 tonight. Second home run allowed by Frank Francisco. Curtis Granderson hit a home run off Francisco, the first pitch he threw this season. Ninth inning, nobody out. Adrian Gonzalez, the opposite field home run to start things off, has tied it at 6-all. Youkilis goes after the high fastball. 1 down.
That's something you don't see very often from Youkilis. He is so good at commanding that strike zone, going out of it. Francisco picks up the strikeout.
David Ortiz had a big night tonight with the bat. Doubled, homered, and singled. And then he also hit into a double play. Good fastball. Seeing better and better velocity from Francisco with every outing.
Yeah, stronger and stronger. Pat Hinkin was talking about him the other day that, you know, he's big and he's strong, but he's got good command. He can throw the ball where he wants to. Also has a strikeout pitch that's split.
There's that split hit on the ground. McDonald takes the play. 2 outs. Blue Jays have had to improvise on the infield after Escobar was hit by a pitch and removed into 6. Cooper came on to play first base. Carnacion moved from first to third. John McDonald, who started at third, moved to shortstop. All the players understand the situation now. You've got to be alive for anything. J.D. Drew jumps on the first pitch and hits it into right field. So Drew's aboard with 2 outs. He represents the go-ahead run. Jose Iglesias, the young shortstop, came on as a pinch runner for Jed Lowry in the 8th inning. Those are his numbers at Pawtucket. Called up AAA. They wanted to call up Yamaiko Navarro, but he was on the disabled list down in AAA. There goes J.D. Drew. Iglesias hits it foul. Boy, Blue Jays got a break there.
He had that one stolen.
Drew got a great jump. Francisco didn't even look at him at first.
One look, high leg kick, and Drew was off. And you're right, they caught a break.
Iglesias rips it foul just past Ron Johnson, the Red Sox first base coach. Iglesias is 21 years old. He signed as an international free agent out of Cuba. And he swings the bat.
Yeah.
He signed a 4-year contract with the Red Sox September 8th of 2009. At that time, he was added to the 40-man roster. He defected from Cuba and then established residency in the Dominican Republic. There goes Drew again. Cut on and missed. Gets away from Aaron Sebia. Iglesias will reach. Looked like the splitter again. It got away from Aaron Sebia. Strikeout and the wild pitch will enable Iglesias to reach. And that pushes the go-ahead run into scoring position.
Just trying to smother the ball. Really a strikeout and a wild pitch. Breaking ball that just ricochets off the left wrist of Aaron Sebia. Keeps the inning alive.
Carl Crawford has a hit in 4 at-bats. Crawford had the game-winning hit in last night's game at Fenway Park off the Green Monster.
Double high off the wall left field. Starting to heat up for him.
Six ball game. It's been a struggle for Crawford in these situations so far. He's just 1 for 4 against Francisco. Game-winning RBI yesterday for Crawford was his 600th career run batted in. He had an RBI in the second with his single to right. Carl Crawford signed as a free agent and really put a lot of pressure on himself early in the season. April was a disaster. A 155 batting average, but he's bounced back. He has almost as many hits in May, and we're just on the 10th of May.
Eric Francona was talking about it the other day, saying he's starting to slow down a little bit now and just let the game come to him.
Another 0-2 pitch from Francisco. Cut on and missed. Crawford goes down. Red Sox strand a pair, but they tie it up. A home run by Adrian Gonzalez. His second of the night, make it 6-6. Aaron Hill will lead things off. Rivera will follow him, and Aaron Sevilla, who's already homered, will bat third. Frustration over there with the Orioles. Frank Francisco gave up the leadoff home run to Adrian Gonzalez. Talking about the location where it was. Gonzalez got great opposite field power. Matt Albers comes out of the bullpen. Aaron Hill takes the first pitch strike. Albers came to the Red Sox from the Orioles. Blue Jays are familiar with Albers as part of that Oriole bullpen.
Signed as a free agent back in December to try and fill out that bullpen, and he has pitched great ball for him.
Sharply hit on the ground. Iglesias is there. One out.
Albers has appeared in 118 games the last couple of years, thrown 142 2/3 innings for the Baltimore Orioles, so he knows all about the American League East. Was a starter, pitched a little bit out of the bullpen.
Juan Rivera was hit by a pitch tonight. Rivera has a home run against Albers. Juan is 2 for 3. It's that pitch upstairs. Albers is a sinker curveball pitcher. He'll cut the ball occasionally, but basically he's going to throw you a lot of sinking fastballs. Bottom of the 9th inning. One out in a 6-6 game. There's that cutter. He got around and throws it upstairs. Boston has homered 3 times tonight. The Blue Jays have hit 3 home runs. Rivera pops it back over the dugout. J.P. Arencibia has one of the 3 Jays home runs. Bautista his 11th, Arencibia his 5th, and David Cooper his first big league home run. That gave the Blue Jays a very short-lived lead at 6-5. Two and two. Full count.
Albers has pitched some of his best ball in his career against the Blue Jays when he was a member of Baltimore. Hasn't started a game since 2008.
Sharply hit, but right to Euclid. 2 outs. J.P. Arencibia back in the 6th inning, leading off against John Lester. Gets a curveball, and it's a no-doubter. He hit it deep over the bullpen in left field. His 5th home run of the season.
His home runs come in bunches. So how about another one right here?
2 would be a nice bunch tonight. Off the plate. First at bat for Arencibia against Albers. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Jason Varitek's behind the plate. He came into the game in the 8th inning as a defensive replacement. All the managers really going to their bench. The veteran catcher is behind the plate. Two and one. Good cut, but popped it back.
Got his fastball that he was looking for. It was just a little tardy. Albers pretty much pitches everybody the same way, like you were saying. Sinker, slider, a little bit of a curve ball. He has really stabilized the bullpen for the Red Sox. They have gotten into a lot of innings, just like the Jays have.
Come back fastball on the outside corner. Albers has a good inning, a 1-2-3 ninth. We're going to go to extra innings. It's a 6-6 ball game. Sportsnet Ontario, Sportsnet East. You'll be joined by Connected. It'll be Martine Geyer and Brad Fay to bring you up to date on all the action around the baseball world and hockey and the NBA. Sportsnet Pacific, it'll be the White Sox at the Angels. Vernon Wells was placed on a disabled list after last night's game with a groin injury. Sportsnet West, it'll be the Diamondbacks against the San Francisco Giants. So lots of baseball action to come on Sportsnet. New pitcher for the Jays will be Carlos Villanueva. Villanueva had a great outing on Saturday. Pitched 4 2/3 innings of 4-hit relief. Gave up just 1 earned run. This is his 11th appearance, and he's been invaluable out of that bullpen.
Certainly has. You throw in the 4 strikeouts that he had against Detroit last time out. He does it with 3 pitches. Fastball, curveball, good changeup. And now he is the man as he faces Jason Varitek, who grabs the bat for the first time tonight.
Varitek batting in the 9th spot. Hitting 157. Has a couple of RBI. Great changeup, and that has really been a great weapon for Villanueva.
It looks like a fastball coming out of his hand. He throws it right in the same arm slot. He's got great arm speed on it. And then you pump one of those in there. It's 89 miles an hour, but it looks like it's 96.
All right, here's a guy that's got great fastball command. I mean, he just locates both sides of the plate, down in the zone. Varitek lifts it to left field. Corey Patterson shuffling back a few steps. 1 out here, top of the 10th. The Red Sox have played 3 extra inning games. They're 2-1 so far. They won their only other extra inning game on the road. Ellsbury's up over 300. 3 for 5. He's had 3 singles. First pitch curveball.
Blue Jays in extra innings are undefeated here at home. 3-0 in extra innings so far in 2011 here at Rogers Center.
Ball on the strike. Well, you'd love to keep Ellsbury off the bases. He's always a threat to steal. He had a stolen base in the first inning, but then was picked off by Kyle Drabeck.
Looks very comfortable at the plate right now. His average was under 200 when he started this 19-game hit streak. Now up over 300.
Sharply hit. Good play by Cooper. Throws to Villanueva, and they retire Ellsbury. Cooper with a fine defensive play. Went to his knees, gloved it, and then turned and fired a strike to Villanueva.
You know what? He didn't panic with Ellsbury running. He caught the ball and then calmly made a good throw. Snags it out of the air, doesn't panic, makes a good throw, leads his pitcher, and Villanueva is right there to make the play.
Cooper made a good read on that angle of attack as he dropped back and was able to make the play. 2 outs. Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia has walked twice tonight. He's officially 1 for 3. He singled into 7th. Ball on a strike. I guess you would call Pedroia the ultimate overachiever. Been told his whole life he was too small to play. MVP 2008. Rookie of the Year 2007. Gold Glover. Silver Slugger. Done it all.
Those are the kind of guys that you tell them they can't do it and they're just determined. I'll show you. Every team needs those type of players.
2 balls and 2 strikes. He's off to a little bit of a slow start. 239, even in his rookie year. Terry Francona was told by the minor league personnel, hey, this guy can help you, this guy can play. And out of spring training, Francona went to Detroit and said, listen, I just want you to play good defense. We'll worry about the bat down the road. He was hitting under 200 at the end of April. Comes up with a 2-out base hit. Bautista was thinking about going to first, but Pedroia was on it. He's aboard with 2 outs.
Well, that bat eventually came around. It was under 200, but now he can handle pitches away from him, in. He takes a hack, too.
He's a good player. Coming into this season, a career .305 hitter. This is the guy that's been problems for the Blue Jays, Adrian Gonzalez. After striking out the first 2 times tonight, he's homered, singled, and homered. Both of his home runs have gone to left field.
His last game, he was talking about his approach at the plate right now. He's staying behind the ball and really driving it. And that's certainly what he has done tonight.
Saw his numbers against Villanueva, 2 for 10. They both spent a lot of time in the National League. Left field again, but this one's going to stay in the park. Patterson backs up and he retires Gonzalez on the fly out to left. So for the Jays, bottom of the 10th, John McDonald will lead things off. Rajay Davis has a triple tonight, and David Cooper, his first big league homer, came in the 8th. The 10th inning in a tied game, and he had a similar at bat against Tampa Bay back on the 22nd of April. He had a walk-off home run off Adam Russell to make the Blue Jays a winner in extra innings. He'd love to do it again tonight.
Don't be afraid, right? Go ahead and do it. He crushed one to left field his last time up before he walked. That one was foul. Ended up walking against Aceves.
First pitch strike from Albers. Matt Albers throwing the ball well. He tied all 3 he faced in the 9th and struck out Aaron Sebia to end the inning. 0-2. Albers is throwing more sliders than I've seen it from him in the past. Seems to be a pitch he can throw a little more frequently for strikes.
You got to see him in Baltimore when he was there. He was sinker curveball, bouncing back and forth out of the pen.
0-2. Strike 3 call right at the knees. So Albers strikes out the first batter here in the 10th.
Every time that I have seen this guy pitch against the Blue Jays, he looks like Cy Young. Comes in, throws strikes, moves the ball around the strike zone. Sinker, slider. Everything is down.
Jose Davis waves at that breaking ball off the plate. Davis had a triple in his second at bat way back in the 4th inning. 1 for 4. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Lined out to right twice. David Cooper in his only at bat tonight, homered off Daniel Bard in the 8th.
Be nice to get this guy on right here. He could do so many things on the bases.
Just love to have that threat of speed in a tie game. Way outside. 3-1.
Take a pitch.
I'd take a pitch.
Work him.
Try to get on.
Sure.
Whoa, right at the bottom of the zone. Boy, he's got late life on that two-seamer. Ran back over the outside corner. Davis thought it was ball 4.
Pitch that he struck out J. Pierre and Sebia. From the side, you can tell it's right at the knees.
It's high enough. Full count, 1 out. Bounced up the middle. That'll get through for a base hit. He is aboard. So Davis is on with 1 out in the 10th. David Cooper will come to the plate. His only other at bat. He hit his first big league homer.
Slipped that fastball by him. Not this time. He was ready for it, and he hits it over the scoreboard in right field. Take another one of those. A little gapper right here. First home run, 3rd RBI.
Davis with a big lead at first. Veritek is behind the plate. He's caught just 3 of 17 base stealers.
Just 18% on the season. Going to have to get some help from his pitcher. You might see a slide step home from Albert.
Great jump at first. It's a pitch out. Throw is in the dirt. And Iglesias, what a tag he put on that. I can see why the Red Sox are excited about Jose Iglesias. He hung in there and took the ball on the short hop.
Quick hands. Remember, that ball bounces, it's going up. He catches it up high and still is quick enough to get it down, but he tags him on the hip of Davis, and his feet are already in there. Didn't think they had a shot at him.
But look at the position of the shortstop. He is safe. There's no doubt about it. But, boy, he is right there with a knee on top of the bag to take that low throw. So the winning run's in scoring position. Rajai Davis, they better keep him close at second. There he goes. Cooper takes it. Throw to third. Not nearly in time. The winning run's at third.
Boy, you called it. Got to keep him close. He's explosive on the bases. He just makes things happen. He takes one step right there. When Albers turns away, he's gone. Veritek with a pretty good throw, but you can see it's just too late. Puts his head down aggressively into third base. And now a long fly ball will win it.
Infield and outfield come in. David Cooper takes the inside fastball. A little bit extra velocity from Albers at 95. A ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. Winning run just 90 feet away. Stays alive. Got a piece of it.
Never faced Albers before, so he's not real sure what his ball does. Right now you want to get as long as look as you can. Track that ball as long as you can.
Red Sox infielders are drawn in. Driven to center. That should do it. Ellsbury is back. Davis will tag. There's the catch. The Blue Jays are going to win it. What a night for David Cooper. His first big league home run and a walk-off sacrifice fly here in the bottom of the 10th.
The speed of Rajai Davis sets up the whole inning. Bounces a ball through the middle, steals second, steals third, and now Cooper, all he has to do is get a ball into the outfield. It works out. It makes a winner of Villanueva. The Blue Jays stick around for extra innings, but it's worth it with the walk-off win.
David Cooper with a great night. His first big league homer and a game-winning RBI. The Blue Jays win it. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.